Alrighty, looks like we are live. Should get going here in just a minute. Gotta check the technical bits, and we will be off. Welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you. Alright, looking all good there. Got my chat ready. Just gotta link it up. Just gotta link up the chats. There we are. Hey guys, you're the Rager. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and welcome back to Astroneer, in a way. So this is the start of my official playthrough of 1.0 and all that. I had years ago, like 7 years ago, I think is what the timestamp said. I had a couple of streams, a couple episodes where I played around on some Astroneer with a buddy of mine, and we did that. But again, this was years ago. I think it was like pre 1.0 even, if I remember correctly. I don't know why I closed that. I could have used that to look that up. But actually, I'll look it up on my phone because I was looking at it earlier. So we'll just, yeah. Because I'm just curious what exactly the details to that. Let's see. Yeah, check my videos here. Oh god, so far back. I can filter by most recent. I can go by lives. Might be considered a live stream, so that might be easier to find than a video because I got so it is. Actually, might be hard to find because I've done a lot of live streams over the years. I've done more live streams than videos, I think, actually. Just interesting. Yeah, this is 7 years ago. Let me just keep scrolling back here. Oh god, Chook and Sussex. I still gotta go back to that at some point. Gotta redo that one. That would definitely be for a video series though, because there's no way I could do all those voices at the same time. Like, because it's a visual novel type game, so I would need to. Yeah, so there it is. So Astroneer 7 years ago. Yeah, losing my rover and my mind. That was at the time when they still had the physics thing in with the wind. So I remember I had a rover, right? And this was when the rover was a thing. Like you didn't even have like the little buggy. You had like a bigger truck type of thing. It was a very different game at the time. They had this whole wind system on the planet. Sylva didn't look anything like it does now, and there was this whole wind system. They had this idea for like physicality and weather, and they took that away. They were like, that's a bad thing for the physics engine because it would cause way too many things just get windswept, even if they were inside away from something. So I ended up burying a lot of my shit in holes back in the day, which is funny. Sap, welcome in. Good to see you. Remember playing this game a few years ago. Might have put 2 months into it because Astroneer is one of those games where you need someone to play with, kind of like Conan. Very true. Very true. I think Conan is definitely a bigger one because Conan, there's a lot more that the duo can do. So it's like one guy can be doing the house while the other guy's doing the taming. There's more to that. Games like Ark Survival Evolved, for instance. But I think Astroneer, uh, yeah, it's a nice meditative experience. I find actually, it's great if you have a series that's a couple of seasons long. So, for instance, I have 300 hours in this, most of which was just dicking around. So, I did like a full playthrough of this, but while I was doing it, it's just there's just some music and some noises of the environment. It's not much sound wise to be impressed by. So I just kind of I think I muted it at one point or turned it down very low, and I would just watch Farscape on the side, and that was 4 or 5 seasons of content. I kind of ran through a whole uh, series of watching Farscape while I was completing the game. And I find games like this be meditative in ways because you can have a game like this alone, It's fun if you include your friends, but it's not required. That's the interesting thing about Subnautica that I'm looking forward to is to see if the co-op elements are interesting enough. Like it's because Subnautica's main draw is being a horror game, and when you play horror games with friends, it instantly turns into fuck you, ha ha fest. Like there's a lot of you can't really do horror and put two dudes in a room screaming together because then it's like you just end up with that. I don't know. Seth says last time I played Conan was after after I started trade school. All my friends I ever did was farming for iron in the beginning area before discovering steel weapons. Needless to say, hands were thrown afterwards. Oh man, yeah, no, Conan. It's one of those games I would like to revisit at some point, but I don't know. It wasn't worth the technical hassle, right? It was technically playable, but at the same time, you know. That's why I just got rid of the finals. I'm like, it's in a minimum viable state right now, but it's still very not a good. It's very much not a good experience for me on my current hardware to be bothered with because, like, that's the problem with game development nowadays is you can no longer trust your own hardware because you have no idea what kind of architecture the games has been designed for, and the devs could just be phoning it in on the optimization because they assume everybody is on this tier when most people are actually below that tier, but you know, whatever. They assume people are gonna have a mega machine. It's like, well, if you have a fucking mega machine that does 8K or 4K gaming, yeah, of course you'd be able to handle. You should be able to handle most games coming out, whether they optimize or not, because you're basically transporting something on a fucking rocket ship that should be transported by helicopter. You know, it's kind of the difference there. It's like, you know, yeah. Anywho, on to the game. Actually, I have been playing Splitgate too. I suggest this if anybody's looking for fun shooty tooty times. It's actually quite intense to play. It's got. I had a little bit of a server issue lately with HitReg. It was kind of being a pain in the ass. My teammates, of course, were being garbage. But yeah. Anywho, on to Astroneer. We're gonna play this. We're gonna play us some Astroneer. And I figured we'll do a little short stream tonight. My schedule at work, it's a whole thing. I was not supposed to be there this morning. I was supposed to be there in the afternoon, and by the time we got it sorted out, like I'm there at 6 morning, like, what the fuck is going on with the schedule, you know? So I'm following the schedule, right? So I'm just thinking, okay, I'll go in there for the first shifts this week, fine, whatever. But I'm not on the schedule after Wednesday anyway, so I just told the boss, like, look, you know what? I've got appointments I made around the idea of me doing first shift. That's what the schedule said. So I'm not going to move those. You just find somebody else. And a recent hire we have is taking my time slots this week because, like I said, I'm not, because he doesn't know what I'm doing with this job interview I've got. So he's like, if I get that job, then I'm leaving him anyway. So it's like, that's fair on his end. There's a whole giant miscommunication. The second time this has happened, by the way. First time I caught it and told him, hey, this schedule looks hinky. But, you know, I'm a minimum wage guy. It's not my responsibility to tell the manager when his schedule app is not working correctly. Like, it's not on me to tell, like, I'm not the manager, I'm not even the assistant manager. I shouldn't be pointing out errors in your workflow to you when you are my superior, you know? Like, unless it's in real time, if it's happening in real time and you're going, hey, check this out, can you double check my work? You know, that's a different situation. Oh, God, I'm gonna have to turn this down, aren't I? Yeah. I don't know, I gotta change my settings or something, because I swear to God, my damn GeForce setup, it loves to put everything on. It does the auto detect thing with the hardware. So you're probably noticing the frame drop in my camera right now. It's let's see. It does this thing where it tries to optimize your settings into the best quality with also the best performance by detecting your hardware. So it detects your hardware and sees what your hardware is built for, but it never really works right because all it does is throw things up on high settings, and usually things with high settings are shadows, lighting, specular reflections, and things like that. And like, that's terrible for performance. Like, absolutely terrible for performance. That chokes your system up a lot, especially if you go to stream. You know, it's like, because you gotta have certain resources here and there. You know, it's the whole thing. Really should have booted this up before I started streaming. I'm just now realizing it would have gone over better if I did it that way. Yikes, Captain. Right. But I figured, you know, I got a little time tonight before I, you know, go drinking my problems away because, God, I am not in the right headspace for this whole rigmarole. Because, like I said, I changed my whole sleep pattern specifically for this week to make sure I was in bed early last night, you know. That's why I was sort of rushing through Bulletstorm in the first place. I would have started this yesterday instead of Bulletstorm if I knew, you know, the whole thing. But yeah, it's just neither here nor there. Alright, is this ever gonna fucking load or not? Because I don't remember this game running this shit before when loading the solar system. Like, I know it's like a first time load, but still. It's like, brother, come on. Okay, can I, like, turn it off in some way? Like, get it off the screen? Maybe that would help the frame rate a little. No, because it's still running in the background. Okay, it looks like Okay, I at least fixed the camera, so we'll check back on that in a minute. I just didn't want my camera getting all jerky here, you know, unnecessarily. Until it wants to pop up. We can check on this every now and then. Yeah, so it is moving. I can see it at half a bar, but I just don't want to have it full screen there because it's going to be trying to run the two things at the same time. Sap says, for frame of reference, we had a building with a building of iron bars before we traveled to the center of the map where the mammoths were found in the steel castle stronghold. How much was the building for? Around 30,000 iron bars. Yikes, Captain. Says, we're getting into New Vegas kind of load screens. Oh no, that was the worst thing about New Vegas. Was like getting into the load screens and then you would hear the music, but the music would continue playing while the load screen played, so you knew it was broken and you were about to have to reload a checkpoint. Like you'd have to stop the whole game and refresh because you knew it hit a bug. It had that loading screen bug where it just doesn't go any further. It's unfortunate. But in this case, it's a procedurally generated world, so it does take a minute. It populates the whole solar system, and all parts of the solar system are active at the same time. That's what actually allows there to be multiplayer with multiple players on each planet. So it's like, if me and 3 of my friends play, each one of us can be, like, there would be 4 levels loaded simultaneously for easy drop in, drop out of, hey, I want to take my rocket and go visit my buddy on this other planet who's mining sulfur. And that, you know, gets us into it. Hey, here we go. Okay. So, yeah, I definitely got to change some settings here. It's, I can tell you right now from the shadows there that this is not what I had last time. Not to mention we got to check the audio as well. So, yeah, high quality mode. Why the fuck any of this is on, I have no idea. Dude, go the fuck down when I want you to go down, you piece of garbage. Okay, here, I'm gonna just lower all the audio first, because that's easier to tweak with later. Okay. So now we have the extra shadows caster. Don't need this. Do not need that. Do not need that. Do not need this. Turn off the LOD blending. Turn off the high quality terrain, because that's gonna drain our shit. Look at this. All ultra. Why? It's a stylized video game. Watch. I'm gonna put it on low, and it's not gonna fundamentally change dick. It's fine. I mean, I'm gonna keep the anti-aliasing on like a medium, maybe. No, it needs to be higher. I'm still seeing jaggies no matter what I put it on. I'll leave it on medium. Oh no, we'll leave it on low because it's gonna be jaggy either way, so who gives a shit. Frame limit 60 with VSync on. Thank you. Okay, so that should fix our issues on that end. Oh, you changed the compass size now. I don't remember that being a thing last time that I played. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. They've done some updating since then. I want to get into it to try more automation, because last time I had trains, but I really just used it as transportation, and I never really got into more of the automated stuff. But I don't think at the time the automation was really a thing. I think they only more recently, like after I stopped playing, did they actually put in more automation updates for things to encourage that factory builder type of idea. Anywho, let's see. Seth says I have the same problem in 76, but the rig that I run on it occurs every now and then. Rarely have I had a session where it's stuck in loading screen. Yeah, that's just the thing, is it's all about like loading the world state, and sometimes if there could be any element of it that doesn't load correctly. It's a whole thing. It's a whole fucking thing for, like, you know, optimization. I was just talking to my buddy about this in the car. We went to the grocery store earlier, and he was saying like, oh, it's not as easy as you think it is to optimize. I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's easy. It's not easy. It's just time consuming, right? It's easy in the sense that it can be done, but you have to sit down and actually do the work, right? The difficult part is getting the time needed to actually sit down and plan everything out. It's the same thing with movies. The reason movies nowadays look like shit is because they don't do a lot of pre-planning. A lot of the big movies had a lot of pre-planning, right? That's why they hold up so well, is because they had a year or two where they didn't even start filming. They just did all the pre-production, and then they filmed. And the filming process was so much easier because they knew exactly what they were going to get before they finished. They storyboarded the whole thing, you know? Like, Tarantino, the reason his stories are so good is because he actually writes a book first. Every movie that Tarantino has ever made, he writes a book first, goes back, reads the book, makes it perfect, and then says, okay, now translate this into a storyboard. He sends storyboards all of his films. Shot. He knows exactly what he wants, where he wants it. Now, he does let his actors ad-lib here or there, like add little things to it and bring their own idea. Only on occasion, right? He's like, look, I wrote it this way, you need to say it this way, it needs to hit this way because it's integral to the story. And he's right. He's right. But same thing like Ken Levine. Like, nobody's looking at Ken Levine saying, oh, where's Judas? Where's Judas? We want to play it now. It's like, we do want to play it now, but I'm not going to rush Ken Levine. Let the dude scrap his game 3 or 4 times. Let him be 80% done with the game, kill the game, and then make new game out of it, right? And start over. Because that's just how the man works. And he works well. There's a reason I love Bioshock Infinite. It's because Ken Levine literally halfway through was like, yeah, he took like a 60 or 70% done game, and instead of finishing, he was like, nah, this has core issues. We need to just scrap this, start over. People complain about that, but, I mean, you can complain about him being bad to work with, right? But you can't knock the man's results. The dude goes hard. Anywho, do I have a setup for Astroneer? I think I maybe set up a custom keybind for this, but that also may have been on my previous mouse. I may not have played it with this mouse. I doubt it, though. I don't think I set up custom keybinds. No Satisfactory I did, but I doubt it on Astroneer. Yeah, no, it's just on Astroneer default. Yeah, Astroneer has its own thing, but it's default. And I know I didn't set up custom binds because I don't use these things and alter the defaults. What I do is I copy desktop default, and then I create a new thing out of it, as you can see here. Okay, so yeah, it's just, the buttons aren't bad. That's probably why I didn't bother making it, because we got QE, all this is set up very well to start with, so there's really no reason to change much. If we run into a bad button, I might change something here or there, but we're good. Like I said, tonight we're not getting like super deep into it. It's just enough to get the starter base going. Okay, I'm gonna move the master audio down, or should I use sound effects, ambient sounds? We'll see how loud it is, and then I'll adjust as needed. Okay, so you can see my last save was 2024. 10-2 to 12. Okay, so this was for a challenge video series that I was thinking about putting together in the vein of like something like Doshington, you know, where it's like can you beat Factorio in a real world? Can you beat Factorio? How hard is it to beat Factorio on this difficulty? Whatever. I was thinking of a challenge type of thing to do with this, and I may still do it in the future, but I want to let that one cook a little more. So that's why this year. So the actual save was save 1 from 2023. Wow. Crazy. We could see my setup, but I don't want it. It's just starting to... so as is... Let's see. Can I, like, delete this? Yeah. Because whenever I do this shit, I like to just have a clean slate, fresh start. So you know what? Let's start with save 2, because that's not even a started world. That's just a side world. Save 1. This was, like, my whole playthrough the first time. And it's not fully complete. I technically did not get to the end of the story, because I looked at the end of the story, I'm like, that's all it does is you gotta do all this with all these planets. I'm like, that's too much. Like, I was burnt out at that point. I got what I got out of Astroneer, and I enjoyed it, but yep. We can get rid of them. We're gonna start fresh. Oh, man. Seeing it, warning, this is permanent. Ooh. Okay. So now we need to choose, let's see, we need the adventure game. Yay! Woo-hoo! Blasting off. So this is why it took so long to load, by the way. Everything is physically in the game. It's not like, oh, here's a load screen and then you spawn the planet. No, you go from your little space station down to the planet, and then you begin your adventure, and you seamlessly go from planet to planet, you know? It's not like a Starfield thing where you just jump to a planet, it's a fucking loading screen. Okay, I do need to change up the sound. Yeah, it's a bit much. Okay, orbit run. I know how all this works. Out, loud, 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 loud. Okay. Okay. Got that going. That seems fine, but I'm going to turn the music up a little because the music's a little down. Because this UI sound is basically the same as all the other sounds, so... Okay, so that is tied to sound effects. At least have that broken up right. And there's the ambient sounds like the wind. He's got a little voice too where he goes, wow, and stuff like that. He just makes little noises. Okay, so what we want is we want the sound effects here. What I want to do is keep that there. The music's fine. It's the sound effects come in and they pop and they kind of give us a problem. Alright, that should be fine. Okay. So, welcome to Astroneer. This is how this works. So, a lot of this I'm not going to be surprised by. I'm not going to, like, metagame, like, go super hard and try to do everything perfectly, but a lot of this I am used to. Because like I said, I've played the whole fucking game, basically. So our goal is to connect all these planets. There's a whole story to this of this alien space station, and at the core of every one of these planets, there's a thing that you find, and then your job is to get to that thing, turn it on, and get it linked up to the space station, and then you can fast travel between those 2 points. But yeah, there's like 9 fucking planets, right? It's like a whole solar system. So you have to imagine you have to get all the logistics together to actually go down into the core, get there, set up the thing, and then it's a whole thing. That's why I didn't want to do it before. But it'll make for a nice long series, and we can ramp up our production and enjoy our little cozy factory astronaut exploration game thing that this is. Okay. So we have our little missions here, by the way. So we have the completed ones. We don't need to see those. So we track it, and if we track it, let's see. Yeah, we're like actively tracking this one. So it'll say like that, and then there's the mission log. Where is mission log? Where's my buttons? I know some of these buttons, but yeah. Let's see. Terrain tool is new or old? Oh, interesting. Okay. They might have changed that. I'm not sure if I've seen that setting before. Selection wheels require hold. Selection wheels? Okay, that I don't know. Compass size. We actually don't have a compass right now. Let's see here. What am I thinking? Also, what do I got? Oh, I got this new suit. I got the Terran suit. That's cool. I like this guy though because he looks like an old Russian cosmonaut. There's also this retro suit, like a Flash Gordon vibe. You got the exotic suit. You got the galactic suit. There's a lot of great suits, so you have a lot of options, which would be great. And then there's a couple that are locked behind achievements and things in DLCs. But yeah, they're pretty great. I like this one. This one's pretty cool with the head, the shape of the helmet. Very Martian. And by that I mean like in movies where you've seen like realistic depictions of people with hardened spacesuits. Usually you see this kind of setup, right? The shape of it. But I like this one. It's classic. Classic space race stuff. I usually use the silver one. Yeah, it's just the regular one? Or the gold one? No, I use the gold one. That's right. Because it's all the same as I had it last time. Pink, gold, you know, the usual. It's like different palettes and things you can equip. So this looks a little different, actually. I remember this just being a color picker and not a whole thing. Ooh, black suit with the green. Oh, the black suit with orange. Is there a green? Yeah, there is a green. Okay, blue. Oh, there's a pink one. Oh, that one's kind of nice, actually. I do love the obnoxious pink, though. Do they have other pinks? They got like a pinky purple one. That one's kind of nice. So it's a pink purple or a purple pink. Whichever way that one works out. Ooh, overachiever. Exodynamic solar system mastery. And you get a full gold suit. That's cool. And beyond. Alright. Ooh, Peach Oasis. That's like a very classic orange. I like that. So yeah, the one I have right now is fuchsia. Because fuchsia is hot pink, right? Oh, I have a crown! Crown 14! Unlocked by helping an old friend fulfill their purpose. I don't know what I did in the game that referenced that, but okay. So you can hear him there, he's making his little noises like he likes. I'm gonna save this outfit just in case it gets broken for some reason. Let's see, so we got the shop and everything, different stuff. There is a way... I have a HUD. I was in here looking for the HUD buttons. Where's the controls? Here we go. Okay, WASD, left shift, spacebar, Q for the backpack, tab for the catalog, E for the terrain tool, F to use, C and V for rotations, Alt and Control for the terrain. Emote 1 through 3. Because there's a way when you see it. It's like, okay, so that opens. That's the upgrade backpack. So you can see there's like research stuff we can do. So we need research bytes. We need to research things. And we can research anything we want. It's just certain things score higher on research. But you could literally scan like anything you want into research for, you know, minimal amounts of points. You can get more high tier stuff that gets you more points. Let's see. So yeah, there's a way to track that. I think what it is the track just goes up here, and then you have to remember what you're doing. So, you know, I thought there was a way to see it in my HUD or something later. Yeah, see, there's the catalog and the backpack. Yeah, see, here's my backpack. So you can see what's on me, but also there's little modules for, you know, making that run better. Okay. See, this thing, I swear to God, there's a way to get to that, but from my backpack. So this one changes that up. I love how interactive the thing is, with its little dial spins and everything. Love this interface. It's fantastic. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, we want to set up our tethers. Yes, what's our current mission? Unpack the oxygenator and install it in the shelter. Okay. So the thing is, our base makes us oxygen, but we need this thing from our backpack. It's called an oxygenator. It provides a constant oxygen flow to connected tethers. So I can get oxygen from the base, because duh. But I need this thing in order to actually lay down the tethers that the game's going to give me. Yeah, I'd like to scroll wheel that instead, but we might change that up. Hold the sprint, hold the orbit camera. Catalog and backpack. Because, like, I could change that to scroll wheel, but I can't turn the camera off on the scroll wheel buttons. That's the problem. So that's where one of my custom key rebind jobs would come in on my mouse, but it's fine. I just got to get back in the groove of things. Like I said, these are not bad buttons. It's not like Satisfactory where I wanted to change a couple of the shortcuts. In here, they're much... They think a lot. Like, I mean, you can see from the physical UI, it's all about character interaction, right? So they're very up on that stuff. So every time we complete one of these, we get a special reward. So we got tethers now. So the tethers, all we have to do... where should we head? That mountain seems to have composite, like a decent chunk. I mean, there's some next to my base I can just grab anyway, but... Let's see. I want to go... Where is my compass? That's a great question. I swear, I'm supposed to have a compass, yes? Here, we'll leave it at 1. Because there is supposed to be a compass, like, up here, telling me where to go, but... I'm trying to figure out the map, like, what's north and south. I try to be exactly lined up with the cardinal stuff when I put down my tethers to make it easier to traverse the world, but... whatever. Off into the wild blue yonder. Well, fuck is that? That's not my tether. That's not what a tether looks like. Oh, maybe that's for the new update. Wait, can I change the way that looks, please? Because I don't like the way that tether looks. It's creepy. It's got the cog on it. I don't like it. Hang on, let me check the... Where's the... Okay. I can't change the thing. I think it's tied to whatever event they're doing in the game. So I think this thing, like I said, it's glitch walkers and all that DLC stuff right now. So I think it's supposed to be a new look for the tethers to match that. Because then during Christmas time, the tethers look like Christmas lights, which is really cool. Basically, you run these out until, like, in the second you run out of tether, you put down another one. And it'll usually hook it up, and that's, like, the max distance. Okay, so what we need is this. We need this composite stuff. That's what we want. Because composite is very important. We need it to do stuff and things. There's some by the base, but I just wanted to come out here because mountains are cool anyway. Yeah, don't worry. Our digging is going to be one of the first things we upgrade, because as you can see, this crap is garbage. Look at how, like, slow and shitty this mining is. Trust me, it gets way better. You could slap so many mods on this thing and make it way cooler and way better. Also, mind that blue bar on my backpack, because that's my air meter. And if that runs out, I start choking to death. Which is not so good. Be back, boys. Okay. So as you can see, we've got like a flatten tool, right? And then we got alt, that's a raise tool. But we don't have any canisters right now. You need a canister to hold the dirt, and then you can start terraforming. And you can start putting, you know, ground down or flattening it out. Like, you can see here it's kind of uneven, but up here it's perfectly flat. Okay. So I'm getting the groove of it. I'm getting back in the swing of it. Okay. So you can track everybody you want. Find a small canister with soil and gather compound and resin. Okay, so we got the canister. Or, no, not find. Fill the canister. So what I like to do with the canisters, since they come off a lot, well, come off a lot. What I mean by that is you tend to remove them a lot when you get into soil centrifuges. Soil centrifuges are your main way of automation in this game. So instead of having to go out and hope you find stuff, you go out and you actually find stuff, and then you can... Okay, I don't know why this thing is wanting to hook up here and not there, but there. That's all I was trying to do. But instead of having to go find patches like this, also this will probably be the start to our mine down here, because it's a nice starting point. So instead of having to do this, where you find patches, you can just dig up a bunch of random soil, feed that into a soil centrifuge, and then just click go, and it'll make a whole batch of the stuff you need. Super handy on other planets. Like here, the starting planet has a lot of the stuff you do need. Some of the stuff intentionally is on other planets, but you can get that later. It's just the thing is you want to get the soil centrifuges on every planet so that you can make things at your base that are maybe from another planet. So if I go to a planet that doesn't have copper, but I need copper on that base to build certain things, it's easier to use the soil centrifuge to make malachite, because malachite is the ore version of copper. You smelt the malachite and it turns into copper. So yeah, like I said, I know some shit about this game. This is one of those rare instances where I'm just playing a game that I do actually know. And I'm not bumbling around like a fucking idiot. Okay, so we filled it with dirt, right? And so now we can get our reward for that. What'd they give us? Nothing. Great. Okay, so we need to unlock, print, and attach the boost mod and the drill mod. So we need to get resin. Don't know where resin is. Having a hard time with that. What the fuck is the compass? Hold on. Like, I swear to God, there's a compass button or something. Or do I need to unlock the compass? Probably need to unlock the compass. Anywho. Also, these little things are great because what you can do is you can scan these for free research points to start with. And they just grow out in the world. So you get a little bit here and a little bit there to start. And that's how you start researching. And then later there's a research chamber that you can put all the stuff into. Also these guys. These little shell guys. These are research points, but they're also later they're like little snail dudes that you can do stuff with. You can have little pets and they give you little boosts like see in the dark or stuff like that. You know, you feed them, you keep them in your backpack. They have a little canister they live inside of. It's cute. They're just bros. Anyway, good. There's resin right here. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, but I have those composite. How do we want to do our storage is the question, because we're not going to have the ability to get a lot of good storage areas for a while. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So there's, okay, the packager. The packager is actually quite nice. This is something you really want to get set up soon rather than later, because the packager, if you can keep this stocked up and keep packages on you, what you can do is bring these with you, and if you see a really big thing that's like not so easily transportable, what you can do is pack it up into a smaller thing, right? Now, it doesn't always work. Super big things get packed down into like a 2x2 square, but if you can get it down to a 1x1 square, you can actually stick that on your backpack. So it's easier for you to stack these things than it is to just, bring stuff. There's a leveling block. This is a leftover, I think, from the earlier game the idea was for this to like get things aligned with the voxel grid. It's not really necessary. So yeah, Tapper. Okay, that's brand fucking new. I've never seen this. Oh, it's an automation item. So yeah, there was like an automation update after I stopped playing. So that's another reason I want to hop in. So there is some stuff I will not know how the fuck it works. So now we have mostly I know the base game, and now there's been the automation update. So now the automated stuff, I get to look like an idiot, basically. Okay, so now the Tapper automation item produces resources from tapped targets. So it just continually produces a resource. That's interesting. That I want to explore. But you need aluminum for that. And aluminum comes from... Okay, malachite is copper. Aluminum... what deposit do you smelt into aluminum? I don't remember. Oh, fuck. That one I don't remember off the top of my head. Small print filter. Toggles the visibility of categories in slotted printers. Okay, so you can actually filter your printers as to what they print, what they ship. Okay, the automation update does look really interesting, and I'm glad we're checking it out. Also, you can control this with your keyboard, too, which is pretty nice. But you can also just click the buttons here. So we have oxygen tank, portable auctioneer. Honestly, the oxygen tank is pretty fucking worthless, because you're just on tethers 99% of the time anyway. Again, this is like a leftover from earlier game where they didn't expect tether networks to be a really big thing. They just expected that to be in your main line, and then you go exploring in the caves with the oxygen tank, step away from the line. I just put tethers everywhere. There's no harm, no foul. Just do it, you know. So this is what you really want. You want to get the nanocarbon alloys so you can have a portable auctioneer, so you don't even have to worry about tethers. You can just breathe wherever. Because unlike Planet Crafter, there's no terraforming this planet. You don't fix up any of the planets. You just roam around and explore them. Okay, so there's the power cells, the small solar, the small wind. We need those. Small battery. Definitely need to unlock that at some point. Ceramic comes from clay. Okay. So we want the, let's see here. There's the alignment mod that you hear around. I need like all these mods. They're all great mods. Also the drill mod. So we want, on our current mission, just to keep things simple, they want me to get the boost mod and the drill mod first, which is what I would get first anyway. But now I gotta get enough points for the boost mod now. Fuck is that? Harmless flora. Uproot to harvest seeds, produce resources when tapped organic. Okay. Sure thing, bud. Also, this thing. This is one of those things. Also, don't try to carry these, because you'll see your dude gets a lot slower. Like, you can sprint with it, but you don't run nearly as fast. So what I like to do is I like to just throw it as far as I can, and then run over to it, because it's a little bit faster than walking. These I am going to throw in a hole. So, just so we don't lose them later. And we know where they are, and they're out of the way. So anytime I get some of these, I'm going to throw them in a hole. And then we're going to research these later. Because these are those type of things that are worth a lot. Plus, you can juggle them. So if you do it this way, you can only carry one. Because then when you grab the other one, it's almost like telekinesis. You have to let the other one go. But doing it this way, you can juggle multiple. So I've gone up to like 3 or 4 before. Just to make sure I can bring them home. But that's where you start getting a truck and roaming around using the packager. Yeah, the whole thing. So I actually have had setups before where I had a truck and I had like 3 cabooses on it, and it was like a lot of storage and stuff. And then there'd be like a printer on the back designed specifically to make more packagers for me. Either that or I would have it on my person to make it. And then I would have a soil centrifuge attached to the truck, so that I could just at any point create graphite from the soil around me to make more packagers, right? Sort of infinite packager setup. It's the whole thing. Like I said, the automation update has me really fascinated, because this game was a lot of handed stuff, like a lot of manual stuff before. That's why it takes a long to play. But if you ramp up in automation, it makes subsequent playthroughs a little more interesting. Just go and grab some out of here. Okay, just to max out what I've got on me. I still got some slots it could fill on my gun, but, you know, I'm not gonna bother with that. Because I gotta get the resin going here. So here we have the printer. This is the small printer. And it makes, you got your mediums and stuff. So it kind of just shows you what you already have unlocked. And then you can't look at the things that are locked. But then there's like a couple different, you know, pages of things, right? So it's like, oh, small canister. Okay, and then there's work light in small canister. So these are different, you know. But again, this is a different UI from what I'm used to, because it's the automation update thing, right? So Automation 009, or Automaton 009, so you can make a little robot friend. There's the rover seat, you need that to pilot rovers. You got the medium platform, medium storage. So this is what you want the resin for, is the medium storage, so that you have a nice place to put your stuff. And you need that to like put down platforms, and it's a whole thing. Anyway, we're going to want the medium printer, so we'll go ahead and do that. As you can see, it's got to spend a minute. So my base generates a certain amount of power, but there's only so much power it can put out. Now, things don't stop when they're out of power, like they do if you're running it solely off like a battery bank. But if you have a small amount of power running to it continuously, and you activate like 50 things at once, all of those things will move exceedingly slow, right? So yeah, that's what you got to watch out for, is the down gradient. It's kind of like in Tectonica, where we didn't actually have power outages in our shit. We just had like things running at suboptimal speeds. Not gonna make a rover seat because you can usually find them lying around in junk piles. What's this use? I'm guessing that is continuous recipes. So that's for automation. That seems to be an automation button. We'll read about the automation stuff there in the guidebook before we try to do it. That way I don't look like a total fucking buffoon. Also, speaking of things that are out in the world, this. So this is one of those types of, like, you know, exodynamics research aid. So if you give this thing the resource it's asking for, it opens up. We need to give it, looks like quartz or maybe ammonium. I think it's ammonium because there's ammonium nearby. Not that they always ask for something nearby. Sometimes it's difficult to ask for, like, power or something. But there's ammonium here. I think that's the symbol for ammonium. Oh, fuck. Uh-oh, I broke it. A plumafire seed, okay. Yeah, there's this thing. So, it might be ammonium? I don't think so. I think it's the quartz symbol. But we can try ammonium anyway. But that's part of the challenge, is these things usually spawn away from whatever it is they want. Yeah, so that is the quartz or zinc symbol. I'm not sure which one. Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm away from the tethers. Oh, God, I'm away from the tethers. Get out of the way, ammonium. Now you can see why it's so dangerous. Because you don't die immediately, right? Otherwise, I'd be way more careful. It's that the game lets you run off the leash, and then you kind of get interested in what you're looking at, and then you die. Because you're away from your oxygen supply. It's brutal. Because you're like, uh-oh, you know, like, you realize you kind of fucked up. You have fucked up now, you know? Okay, I got a couple slots in my gun I'm going to use to grab some more compound, just to make tethers and such. Plus, I'm trying to get this hole dug out, because there's a lot of compound in here. Way more than I thought there would be. Maybe they upped the spawn rate on these or something. I mean, sometimes these things go deep, though. They really do. Okay. So we're maxed out there. I have a medium printer. Problem with the medium printer is you actually have to put it down somewhere, so I can unpack it, but it needs to sit on a 2x2. So it has to sit on 2x2 to be used. So we gotta actually make a platform with resin and all that. For right now, we could probably... Like I said, the wind stuff isn't in the game anymore. That was way earlier access type stuff. So these things won't blow away in the wind, because it's not super windy on this planet. Other planets, not so much, but yeah. And this is kind of cool. You kind of use this as an empty spot if you use the right input. Small generator, we are going to want one of those, but we'll do that later. I tend to prefer doing solar and wind, but that's only really good if you have a battery bank. The small generator uses organic deposits it burns those to make power. Work light, chroma, small printer, tethers. Okay, yeah, we'll just leave it on tethers. You know what? We'll make a couple tethers real quick. We'll just do like 2 tethers. There we go. And then we'll have one loaded up, ready to go in case we need more. There we go. Okay. And then resin there. This here. Okay. I got ammonium on me for no damn reason. Don't need that. Alright, let's go get the resin. We're wasting time here. We need to get some resin. Because we're almost an hour into this and we still are, like, not even started on the base. That's the thing, man. I start yapping. I just start yapping. And Astroneer is definitely a game for yapping. See, this is why you want to get the boost mods and all that. Because digging through there is a nightmare. But, hey, look at this big resin field right here. It'd be nice to dig out. So we're going to just max this out while my oxygen lasts. Whichever comes first. Build a backpack or run out of air. Those are our options. Nice big resin field right next to base. This is good. This is a good start for us. Because you need a lot of resin in this game. Resin is like the single most important resource in the entire game. Because resin is it's the fucking cornerstone of all your tech. You need resin for platforms. You need resin for boxes and seats and canisters and all kinds of shit you need resin for. It is a ridiculous amount that you need. So these are good. So I can like get free research points every now and then when they regrow. It's not an insignificant amount either. You can, if you harvest these things right, you can stack them up pretty good. Okay, let's see. What was I looking at? Why was I in here? What am I? I'm looking at the wrong thing here. I'm trying to do this. Here we go. Get the reward for that. Okay, there's a special event, AMPP, activate event via EXO request platform. Okay, so let's ignore that for now. Lights in the distance, discover a gateway. We'll get to that later. Not important. I just like to make sure I see what's tracked here. So, retooling, you gotta get that one. We need to print the medium printer and slot a medium printer. Yeah. So we got these couple of things. So we got our first storage unit. This is good. So we open that. And then we got our platforms. So this is how the base building works. You have these platforms, you connect them with these so that they're all powered and ready to go, yada yada. Okay, I'm going to take that off for a second so we got a little more room here to work with. And then we want to point this out a bit. Click that. We'll do this one like this, just for funsies. And this is not anywhere close to the ideal setup for a base, but the nice thing is this is not like a physical thing. You can walk right through the power lines, thank God. Otherwise it'd be really annoying to try to move through your base. Okay, so this is cool because we can have it up like this, or to make it easier to use, bam! We can see all the slots on it. I love that. I love these things. They're so good. And then this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the medium on this, and then we're gonna rotate it. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Get back in the backpack. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna rotate it so that it prints everything out this way. And the cool thing is you can kind of pick these up while they're still connected, and then you can lock them wherever you want. So we'll probably just put this here and then lock it. Very cool, very cool. Very hip. Love to see it. Alright. And then with this, what we can actually do... So, yeah, the problem with this is now we gotta, like, get all this on here. And I want to say there was a way to do this, if I'm correct, but... There's, like, a way to get it to take it... Usually what I would do is I'd have a grabber, and I would have an area the grabber wants to grab, and I would just take all these and dump them. But again, that's way later. That's like, put them in this tube, secure it this way, drill cranes on trucks type shit. Right now, we get to do it the poor man's way. Physically sorting our entire inventory. As you can see, this is why the game needed an automation update. Because it's a lot less fun when you have to do everything with a single click. Okay. But the cool thing is, now this is connected to the network. If these two platforms are on the same thing, it'll draw from that. It won't draw from it now because it's too far there, but, you know. So what it's looking at is the resin that's actively on my character. So the first things first, we're going to want to print a large platform. So what we'll do is we'll print a large platform. That resin. And then we'll wait. And as you can see, this is what I'm talking about, the power draw. So the power draw... Oh, there's my compass. It's on right. Okay. I was forgetting what right even did. Well, right. R is what I mean. Right. Yeah, it's on R is the thing. So, that... See, I told you the fucking mission log was here. I knew it. I wasn't crazy. It's R. R is the thing. I just forgot the fucking, you know, thing for it. Okay, so we do have... a reward due to us, but let's take this compound up for a second. Clean all that up. The reason I'm making the large platform is so it can fit more things together. It's you want to have a bunch of large platforms all dedicated to something. And logistics, man, logistics. All right. So print and connect small generator to power network. Right. So we didn't print it, but we can connect it. So we just do this. It should. Maybe I do have to forcibly print the fucking thing to make it go off. Oh, small generator. Okay, not small printer. Print, use the research chamber, smelting furnace, unlock that. Okay, lights in the distance, we don't want to track that right now. That's not actually useful to us. So here we have a large platform for free, but I just made another one, because we're going to want this one too, just for other purposes. This is the better one, though. Large platform A is good, large platform B even better, because one, it has more storage, two, it's set up, you can put storage on either end, and the grabber arms, and this is a much cooler setup. This will do for now. This would actually be good for a research platform, because research platform fits nicely there. So actually, tell you what we'll do is, we'll do this. I'm just pointing the arrow out for my own sanity. Okay, lock that in place, and then we'll make this like the small printer array for now. This is where our small printers will do their work. Okay, we can make them print small canisters, but I can do that myself. I don't really need that. Let's see, medium storage... medium platforms. You know, let's set you to medium storage, because I really don't need other things from you. So we'll do that, because we're going to use the big platforms as much as we can, because you're going to spend, like, the same amount of resin anyway, so you might as well. And a large printer, we want one of those. Right, we then want to print the small generator. We're going to want one of those. Okay, small generator, bing. So that's on, so if we feed that with any organic material, like so. Now we have organics, and we can feed this in here, and you can see it spiked the power. So that's where the small generator comes in. Now, obviously, there's like solar panels and stuff that I need to unlock for, you know, better tech tree stuff, but that'll work for now. All right, the boost mod, we'll unlock that one, and then later we're going to get the small solar and the small wind once you start getting into that. That way, but we want batteries before that point, because it's useless to have solar and wind power unless you can store the energy. I'm looking at you, hippies. Yeah, the whole logistical network for that is brutal, you know? Because it's, like, I'm talking about real-world shit. It's like, oh yeah, green technology. Yeah, green technology is fantastic. If you can, in fact, store the electricity you're generating, yes. Because the second you're no longer generating it, the whole grid's going to shut down. You need batteries. Which I think grids should have anyway. They shouldn't just be like, oh, whoops, the power line got cut. It's like, no. Every house should have a battery strapped to it that can operate for 24 hours in an emergency situation. You know, they should have a battery bank of low power that can run like that. Actually, the large printer would go really well on here. So, you know, let's take these, turn that off, because we don't want to waste the organic juice. Yeah, here's what we'll do. We'll leave that on the side, because it can just sit on there, and then we can feed it later if we need to. Which way are you pointing? You're pointing out, but I don't want you pointing into the tether. I want you pointing into the base. Rather, maybe... yeah, this way will work. Okay. So we can put, like, basically just a shelter and whatever, but we can keep it in the box, and then put the box on a ship and bring it with us somewhere, and then, you know, do our stuff. Okay. Because what I like to do is I like to get all the stuff for a starter base on the rocket I'm using, like the medium rocket, and then go to another area to set up with, rather than trying to gather the materials while I'm there, because it's more of a pain in the ass to do it that way. Okay, so we got the large printer. That's checked off. We want to get the research chamber built. Okay, so you're going to wait on that. That's going to take a minute. This thing, we'll put this back here for now. Trying to keep it all together, but it's as you can see, sort of a nightmare at this point. Issues are beginning to arise in my base design. It's only been 5 minutes. Okay, put this over here. Leave that there. Alright, let's go get some more research points off these guys. Just for the freebies. Ooh, I see salvage over there. And I have tethers. Let's go that way. I'm not going to go straight to it. I'm just going to run by it and basically set up a tether network towards this mountain. Mainly because mountains have malachite and what's the other thing they have? They have, like, metals in them. The metals are usually in the mountains. I mean, you can find them underground, too, but usually the mountainous areas where you want to go to find the metals and such. Only problem is with the metals, you need to get the boost mod, or else you can't really harvest it that well, because the mountains are made of very dense rocks. So there's pros and cons to all this shit. Yep. Oh, I'm out of tethers. Okay. Well, we'll stop there. Actually, you know, I could make it up this mountain and back down. Just see what's at the top here. Maybe scout the area. Just, you know, kind of get a little off the top. Just a bit. Just trim it up a bit. Okay. There's some free research right there. Those are worth a little bit. Got a rock. Come rock. We go home. Woo! That's one of my favorite things in the game is, ow, broke my legs. Fuck. Nope, not breaking my legs. But sliding. Sliding is really fun because if you get on a steep enough angle with enough speed, then you start to slide, and you can slide, like, down into caverns and stuff, and it's pretty sick, like this right here. You can go all the way down the mountain. And if you do it at the right height and everything, and don't drop too steeply, you don't break your legs. So pretty fun, pretty fun. We're gonna need more resin, so while I'm out here, I'm gonna grab some of this. Even without the boost mod, it's pretty tight. We are gonna need more canisters, but I'm gonna worry about that when we start doing, because it's a whole planet. Like we're on one of several planets. We are never running out of soil for soil centrifuges. That's just not gonna happen. It's a whole literal planet I'm standing on. It's like 1-to-1 scale with me. You can walk around the entire... Sorry, it's not like it's a play area that's limited in that way. Like, yes, it's limited resources, technically, but it would take so long to core an entire planet that it would not even be a viable strategy. Like, you would have so much dirt, you wouldn't even need to print anything with that dirt. Like, you'd be wasting the dirt at that point, you know? Alright. Don't forget our rock. Our rock sample is a good one to research. So here comes the little trick that I told you guys about. We can kind of hip-hop these back and forth, and as one falls, I can grab the other one. Just sort of juggle them. Imagine doing this with 3 or 4. I've done that before. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. Yeah. Okay, I got a couple spots open. Let me see. Ah, free solar panel. There we go. That's what Daddy likes. Give me that. These things can be wrecked later. You can, but you have to get a really big shredder machine to stick those into. Just shred them up. This thing, yeah, there's nothing good here. Usually, these are the ones I really want to find. It's the big, or not the big ones. Those are medium solar arrays, but they're also quite good. Yeah, just buckle in, boys, because we're going to have a long playthrough of me yapping about space stuff and base building, and it's going to be very fun. We are here for a good time. That is the vibe, boys. That is the vibe. Gonna give off all the good vibes. Not the bad vibes. Good vibes. Alright. I'll go put these in the research hole in the back of the base. There you go. I think I will put the researcher on this, actually. That'll be a good use of that. Because we can already print another one of these later, once we unlock the blueprint for it. That way we can do this. We can hook it up, and we can put 2 on deck. So that this thing can run continuously without me really needing to tell it what to do. So this thing will give us 750 bytes in 10 minutes at 21 megabytes. And the cool thing is it actually goes faster if we feed it with power. The more power we feed it, the better. let's see, what exactly can you get me? You have a research station. You can do multiple research chambers at once, but we just really need one for right now to start. What I need, actually, is to check my... Yeah, so we got the compass here. Did I get that accurately? Pretty close to true east. And then here, kind of going west-ish. But you can see there's like some stuff on here, like this debris. This is like a gateway thing. There's like some bits hanging around here or there. You know, there's certain things will pop up on your map. Anywho, research time. Okay, let's see. I'm looking for... Yeah, the printers and stuff. Okay, the auto arm. That's what we really need to get so we can move things automatically. Right? And the medium storage and all that. That's all very good. Generators. Okay, here we go. Medium platform B. No, I don't even want to bother with medium platform B because you got 2 resin there. If you're going to do 2 resin, you might as well do the large platform B. I think it's going to be on the next tab because that's all mediums. And then here's large. Smelter, we're going to need one of those. But I need platforms before I even bother with smelting. Because I need somewhere to put the fucking thing. And I want to be using nice platforms. Oh, we already know platform B. Okay, cool. These ones are cooler, though. I like platform C a lot. Large T platform is okay for storage and arms. The curved platforms are pretty nifty, because you can make, like, a circle of them. So if you have, like, a bunch of research stations, you can stick them there, that way they're out of the way. And it's easy to manage. Large stacked platform. That's new. I haven't seen one of those before. Yeah, large extended I've seen. Large stacked, I've never heard of that. That must be new. So yeah, these are the really fun ones. The large resource, the large storage, stylos, A and B. So the difference being the resource canister holds 400 nuggets of a single resource, whereas this thing just holds whatever in whatever amount of slots, right? There's a lot of different ways to play this game with your storage and stuff, is what I'm saying. Like, that's the point I'm getting here. It's you just got all these different, like, things you can mess around with. There's a lot of fun to be had. So there's the extra large shredder I was talking about. Then you got like solar arrays, you got sensor rings for trains and things. It's a whole fucking thing, man. It's great. My favorite out of these, I mean, obviously the large shuttle's great, but I actually quite like the medium shuttle. It's good for getting from planet to planet without trying to drag a bunch of stuff with you. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, we already have that. So you know what we'll do? We'll get the smelter so we can get that started. I think I need the large printer for the smelter, I believe. No. Do I? Is it a medium? Well, hot damn, I think it is a medium. It is. Okay, cool. So that's smelting furnace. Okay, so we do need to get a furnace going eventually. Here's the problem with this is we gotta get, like, honestly, it'd be better to just rip the resin off of this and put the small generator and printer in its place. Like, it doesn't work, but the generator would. But we can use this on the side to pick up some sun. Where is my small generator? Oh, there it is. Hiding from me. So this still works. It's just this needs to be properly placed down. The small printer does. And then it can work. It's just a pain in the ass otherwise. Small printer. We can probably put the small printer on this side, to be honest with you. Just kind of link it there. That'll work for now. And then we'll have a different setup with multiple small printers to print a lot of things quickly if we're trying to automate, like, canisters or something. Okay. So basically the idea was for me to rip that off so I could do this. And you kind of flatten, but also do the... Yeah, this is why you need the alignment mod, by the way, so you can keep everything straight. And this is another reason to get soil centrifuge set up quickly. Because you can make the soil centrifuge spit out organic, which can spit right into small generators. It's good for the early game. Alright, but now we have a little bit of this, so we'll just throw that on there. Throw these on here. Got some ammonium and whatnot. We're going to throw some more resin there. I need more containers. So I'm thinking we do that. Okay, the boost mod is zinc, which comes from... Yeah, we just find zinc, right? We find the zinc, then we smelt it. Then we need ceramic, right? Which then, you know, goes into that. But it's all smelting in furnaces type thing. Oxygen filters, don't need those. Small canisters is what we need. So I'm going to make a couple small canisters so we can keep collecting up dirt. Because the more dirt we can collect, the easier it is to flatten things out, build bridges and hills and things we might need to traverse with. So I like to keep like 4 on me at a time in the early game, and then later on I kind of use the whole backpack just for that. Okay, so that's done there, and then you just do shelter, so we're not even worried about you right now. Your chamber, exo platform, platform A. Yeah, okay, so it's the alternate. Gotcha. So we need more resins for that. Res? Need res? What do you mean res? Alright. So you can see why it's important to have a big platform to start with. Otherwise, you end up with all the shitty fucking... Yeah, no, it's... Yeah. You need a large platform B so you can stick all this onto one platform and have it pull from the storage instead of pulling from your storage. Which is a freaking nightmare. Okay. Yeah, this thing's running... If we get more small generators, that would be handy. I'm thinking, yeah, we want to probably automate that process anyway. So we'll make another one. We'll throw it on there. Then we'll just come by and throw some organic on whenever we can get more organic stuff. So I'm trying to get the power up so we can keep researching at the same time. Because research is super freaking vital. Oh no, I took the bush out. Alright, that's alright. We still get some research points off it. Give me the squample. Give me the squample. Thank you. Okay, I don't want to kill this thing because it has this, like, harmless flora on it. I want to see how tapping that works later. Okay, we're going to bring this bad boy home. Got a little hole under us. That could be a good mine, too. Okay, so we got more on deck for research. Okay, now I got some organics we can feed into our generators. I need one more. If I can get one more, I can have... There you go. Now we got 2 spares lined up for later. But you can see it goes a lot faster when you're using more power. So now it's at 208 per minute because it's using up all that power we had. Okay, and then we got smelting. Alright, we'll put this on here for now, and then we'll just use the rest of our stuff for another platform. So this is our smelting array. And then we're gonna reorient this base. This base is kind of fucked. Am I getting like 59 frames? And the game is just, in OBS is just not telling me. That again, I can't lower it anymore. So, not much I can do on my end. I've disabled everything. We limited it and all that, so. There's no way to turn this off completely. You just, this you have to keep off. An FOV bias? Oh. Woo! Big guy. Okay. Don't need that. What the fuck is the point of an FOV bias? You could literally scroll your camera out, jackass. That's your FOV. Why would there even need to be that? Ooh, if naval storms will not spawn, this runs gathering of storm data, overrides custom game options. There's storms now? Okay. Didn't know we were getting storms, but alright. So now you can see it's like automatically doing these ones. And we should have a good bit of research saved up for the soil centrifuge. That was the next thing I wanted. And there's the chem lab and the atmospheric condenser. Those come later. Large print filter, so that's visibility categories and slotted printers. Okay, where's the battery? That's what we really need. Should be over here by the smalls. Yeah, we gotta get the battery unlocked for 2000. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these on the same thing. We're gonna move you guys out of the way. We don't need you right now. Goodbye. Sayonara. See you later. So long and thanks for all the fish. We're gonna start building out here. I'm gonna flatten it out, but for right now, we're just kind of stuck with what we got until I get that alignment mod set up, and then it gets a lot simpler. As you can see, getting it aligned is a pain in the ass when it's not a flat surface. That's why you want to flatten things out. Alright, so this is sort of our setup for the moment. And then we go from there. Printers, so our printers, we can kind of get them all on the same thing, really. So we can put this one off the side. We can put the big one over here. So we're putting like the whole printing array on the one setup, and there's this will be like storage maybe over here. Well, different storage. You know what I mean. You get it. So this is where we're gonna print things from, I guess. This thing, there's not so many things from the small printer we really need to print other than medium storage, so it's fine if he just hangs out somewhere like over here. And what we could do is even move our solar panel there, just so everything's together. We know what's making up our base right now. Okay, and then we'll put actually this back over here. Yeah, it's all gonna change. This is all very temporary, but yeah. So this turns on, it uses power, and then you smelt things in it. All right. Can you smelt resin and stuff now? No. No. Okay. I didn't know if there was some update for that. Like, hey, if you smelt this, then it turns to that, or I don't know. Never know with these things. So we're gonna just use our last bits of resin and get some more storage going. So this thing is actually, I remember this button now. This thing cycles your shit. So basically, what happens is you can set it to auto, and then any time the stuff is on there to build the thing, it'll activate and just build the thing. So you don't even have to think about it. Which is nice. So yeah, now we need to get a soil centrifuge going, but again, we gotta go into the mountains, we gotta find like all sorts of stuff. Oh my god, my brain's already overloaded. Alright, let's make some tethers. We need to go exploring and looking in the mountains for metal. We got these little dudes. Tell you what, we'll use one of these for the small printer array. Actually, yeah, because we got that there. Yeah, we got the small printer here. Do this. Like I said, the small printer is more for just my personal use. So, like, we'll have a whole different setup with these later anyway. But for the early game, I'm thinking throw this on there. Pull this over here out of the way. Knock that down. That way it's all out of each other's way. Okay. And then this thing, I just don't want to waste platform space if I can afford to have platforms, you know. So this thing over there. And then this could actually be our power array for right now. And then when we add to it, we'll add more. So, all right, trying to keep the base organized. It's a bit of a hassle. Take that though. That works. Okay, so this way is the best chance because it has a bigger, denser mountain in it. So better chance for finding stuff. Yeah, this is indicating some sort of salvage, some sort of debris. And I believe the ball indicates if it's above me or below me. So if the ball's below, then it's indicating it's under me. So I think this one, it should be over here somewhere. So I'm like over it. So yeah, it's actually under me. So you can see it's kind of like three-dimensional. This is where I'm standing, and then that's underground. That's the idea. Compound, probably need some compound for some more tethers, but we could just grab that anytime when we need more tethers. We don't really need to carry a bunch on us. Trying to be slim in the early game. We don't have the storage capacity to play around with. I need to grab as many high-tier resources as I can. You know, right now, resin and excuse me, zinc are the big things we're looking for. Because we need zinc for batteries, aluminum, and whatever. We need metals and such. We need the good shit. Yeah, we need the good shit. Alright. So this, usually metal, it's like the other resources. You'll see a node, and then you can dig it out. Usually you're not, like, it's not going to be in the center of the dirt, right? That's not how resources usually work in Astroneer. Like, they can be, but that's more of a cavern thing. Whereas on mountains, you'll usually see the thing you're looking for, and then dig it up. When you're, that's how the surface of the planet tends to go. Okay, so tell you what, I'm going to try something here. Yeah, see, as you can see, this is why we need the boost mod. We need the drill mod, the boost mod. So the boost mod makes you dig faster, and then the drill mod specifically drills higher tier stuff. So this is considered higher tier. So even if I had the boost mod, the reason those rocks were sparking is because they are a higher tier of dirt to deal with. They're denser, so, you know, my guy has a problem digging through it. I need this rock out of the way. There we go. Yeah, I want to kind of cut through the mountain here. I keep forgetting that E is the gun and Q is the backpack. Okay, I gotta get back in it. Like I said, I used to be really good with this. I used to be switching this shit on the run, juggling research and all that. I used to be a fucking pro at this game. Because I spent so much time in it, I had the muscle memory, but now it's... Okay, yeah, this is the part that's a little treacherous, is when you're going down mountains, and you don't want to slide all the way down away from your tether network. Because you may slide into a place where it's hard to place tethers. And then you're kind of fucked, because then you start running out of oxygen, and you have to desperately reconnect your shit. Okay. So here, I'm not going to climb over this. I'm going to demolish it, because we want to go this way. I don't want to make it easier to get through here later. Okay, good enough. These fuckers. These are a nightmare to deal with. Because these things, if you get near them, they'll try and snap on you and eat you. So you can scan this, and this, yeah, can be planted or researched, disappears after time not planted. So here we can, like, put them down, and we can spawn more of them. So this is for, like, growing infinite research, basically, kind of garden, right? But these are hazardous plants. There's different types of hazardous plants in this game, but that's just the first type you encounter is the springy plant. What do they call this thing? The bounce vine. Yeah, so if you run into this, it goes boing, and it throws you up in the air, and then it breaks your ankles, and you come back down. Absolutely brutal. Yeah. Okay. Gotta kind of dig myself a little bit of a pathway back up this. Not seeing the metal I want, though, and that is annoying the crap out of me. Okay, let's get some research materials and things. Still need 2,000, which is not great. Let's see. We can cut through this. Perhaps. Like I said, drill mod, boost mod, that's our main thing. Getting that and the soil centrifuge up is sort of our goal for this stream. Because those are the starter elements we need to really ramp up production. We need to be able to dig a lot of soil and then turn that soil into the resources we actually need. Instead of trying to, you know, dick around like this. Ooh, hello, there's a module. That might be free resources in there. I need that. My problem is I'm away from my tether network, so I don't have to run back. Christ. On his throne, dude. Okay. I'm not religious, by the way. I just say that shit like that a lot. Because, you know, some of them are good sayings. Some of them are, you know, good sayings. Okay. Let's see. Back to the tethers. Well, this way is kind of a bust, and I'm heading down the mountain by going that way anyway, so I'm going to retract some of these tethers. There you go. Okay, that way we're a little closer, and we can just kind of make ourselves a step down here, make it easier to get back up. So these are crash pods from other dudes. And sometimes you'll find backpacks. We have a horn. We have a floodlight. And we have the curious item. Ooh, free power cells. Sweet. Take those back to the base. Yeah, so this scrap bit, I don't think I can do much with it, so we'll pick up scrap later. There's not much we can do with it at our current level. We can store it for later, but I'm already running out of storage space at the house anyway. I'm already kind of dealing with a storage issue, so not really point to that. Alright, back to it. Yeah, this thing, careful with this thing, by the way. This curious item, it spawns a whole thing. You don't want to just use that randomly. Yeah. Okay. Let's see, if I can put some compound, I could keep going through the mountain to the other side here. That looks like maybe a good field over there. Two problems, we need the compound now. That compound I said was kind of worthless, yeah. Well, let's just, we'll do a couple tunnels through to make it easier to get through the mountain. So we can get around to the sides and such. I'm not seeing any compound on this side. I see snails, research. Ah, it's compound over there. Okay. So we'll get some air, grab some compound, set up some more tethers. Because we're not too far. Yeah. But you'll know. When we get to a mountain area that has some stuff, you'll know what we're looking for when we see it. It's just metal deposits. They're very distinct on the mountainside. They don't tend to hide, that much. Also, why do I have this on me? I need that off. I don't need a light right now. Not like down in a cavern. Okay, what am I doing there? Oh yeah, I was getting complaints. Ah, there it is. Ah, shit! Okay, well that demonstrated a few things. Number one, that's what a bounce vine does. Number two, this is malachite. This is the shit we were looking for. We got a little bit. Not a lot of it, but a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run on back here. God, please get back to the tethers! Oh my god. Oh, we didn't get any compound. We didn't finish up. Damn it, I need more. I need a little more compound to get a full node. Damn you, game! There you go. Now I can make the tethers. Jesus Christ. And I got like no slots though. Okay. It's fine. So we'll go throw up some tethers to get over to this area. Even though it's probably easier just to go to my base, but I don't even know which way my house is. That's why you gotta have the compass. Yeah, house is back there anyway. So this was all the way through the mountain to find this deposit. Ah, shit. Yeah, sometimes these are physical, so sometimes you need to tuck them out of the way so you don't run into them. Like, they usually won't fall down, but sometimes they get planted wrong, they can fall down. Which is not great if one of them falls down in the middle of your line, because then your oxygen line gets cut. So you want to avoid that if you can. Oh my god. Yeah, sometimes the camera gets in its own way. One gripe I do have with this game is the interface is very unique and interesting and physical, but that also means you have to be more careful with it, as it can get in its own way sometimes. Alright, not bad. So we get through here, get out to the forest, got some research stuff around there. We did get enough. I thought that we got 2,000 bytes. Oh, no, we're up. We got a total of 2,000 bytes. That's what it was telling me. Okay, we have like no room left. So we'll come back for it later. We got like 3 malachite. That's enough to start making some copper at least. I really need zinc though, but zinc is a whole different equation. I think zinc actually is underground in this place. Like the different biomes on the planets are different. So like each planet has its own biomes, and then there's regions. So the biomes are like, you have a planet, and then that planet has... Okay, so the whole planet is basically one biome, right? So this one is your starter biome. You're going to get a lot of grassy fields, then some caverns underneath, and then, mostly your starter stuff, right? And it's all sort of even. Whereas other planets might be, hey, here's a whole world that's a desert or a moon, right? And it's just one continuous biome that is just one thing, but on, say, the moon one, you might have zinc and quartz readily available on the surface, whereas other planets you would have to be going down into caverns to find them. So on this planet, for instance, zinc I believe is actually more common underground than it is on mountains and things. Mountains and things are more for copper and aluminum or whatever, you know. But I don't know if aluminum's here. We have the Astropedia. We should take a look at that, and that would explain it a lot better than me just babbling about it. Let me get some more tethers from down here. Oh god! Oh, broke my shit. Oh god. Oh, I'm a dumbass. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Oh, see, I'm breaking my damn network now. So, yeah, if you mess up the dirt, it could screw up your little network here. That's fine. We need to kind of make a hole down here anyway. So that I can mine more of that composite later. And by later, I mean right this fucking second. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you can make these things go further, sometimes not. It just depends on how far you set them apart. I always set them at the max, so it's a little... If I need a fiddle like that, it's a little bit more difficult. Alright, so now we can see the smelter in action. So... We do this, we do that. See, I swear there's supposed to be like a shift-click option for things to like get things to move. There's shift-click to pick it up, but for depositing, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Which is why, again, the game incentivizes you later to just use trucks and trains and other things, you know, to do your storage stuff. All right, fire it up. But yeah, it takes a lot of power. Where's our generators? So we'll throw our organics on there. Throw a little power cell on too, just to help out. Yeah, the sooner that's done, the better. So we're waiting on malachite to turn into copper, and then we can use the copper to start making other things like solar panels. Well, once we get the research for it, right? That's the thing. But again, I want that small battery figured out first, and then we can figure out the other stuff later. This thing, actually, we're gonna move it over here. We tend to need a lot of stuff for that. I don't know if it's gonna go left or right, or it should fill this first, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it looks for storage, and then it fills it from one end to the other. Here you. All right, and then there's this fucking thing. Yeah, I'll just show you guys what this is. We'll put this on, like, the back of the base. I'm not going to do any construction in this area, so... If you put it over here, it should be fine. Wait for it. Oh, wait. No, this is the different thing, right? Yeah, that's the weird thing where if you do that, it just makes the sky all weird, right? Yeah, it does this, like, pulse signal thing, and it makes the sky all glowy and weird. That's one of my favorite planets, actually, over there. It's, oh, I forget the name of it, but it's cool because it's all hilly and jungly. It's a pain in the ass to move around, but yeah. Anyway. No, this isn't what I thought it was. That thing just does a light show. There's another thing that when you set it down, it teleports this wreckage and it's a whole thing. Yeah, this thing kind of useless, so we'll just stick it on there for now. It's supposed to do something. It's a weird thing. Okay, so we got our copper. Let's go check. I think we completed some of our stuff, so let's get some rewards from this. Like a small battery, for instance. Fantastic. And then we got enough to actually research small battery. Oh, did they give me small battery research for free? Neat. Okay, charge a battery. Refine aluminum from laterite. Laterite is what I'm looking for aluminum. That's the other thing it's called. Laterite. Okay. Unlock an exo research and unit. Okay, we'll do that later. Oxygen tank cells. This is just unlock this. You get the QT-RTG, which is a tiny generator that you can, like, I find it best to put it on you and not on your thing, but, you know, the more you have, the better. But, yeah. Beacons are alright. So if you have, like, scrap or something, you can lay those down and then come back to it later. But, yeah. Batteries. So we'll move you there. The battery actually can plug in right here. That'd be a good spot, because it's never going to really move anywhere. And then, actually what I should do is put some of these down, because I really don't need them. So we'll put all of these over here. And then this will free this up for beacons that we can use later. Then, only problem with these, you gotta cycle them around. You can't just select whatever you want. You have to cycle through it. Really wish they would have fixed that. Maybe they did. Maybe there's some new thing that I don't know about. But, yeah. Okay, so we got the large platforms, resins, smelters, soil centrifuge. That's what we need. Okay. But we need aluminum for that, which is a pain in Matokus. So, there's also the extra request platform, so you can use that to, like, send things off and then deliver things back to you. It's a sort of a commerce thing. Ah, shit. Get out of the menu. Thank you. Just trying to look around to see if there's other stuff that's more important. Go like it. Resopound. The fuck is a resopound? It's silicone and plastic mixed together. Is that like a synthetic resin? I mean, you can already make resin in the soil centrifuge, so I don't see why you would think that. I don't know, maybe it goes into something else more important later. I don't fucking know. That's that new shit that I don't know about. Yeah, let's see. So, yeah, some of that, some of this. Power cells. Power cells are alright if you can supply it with enough graphite, but they're kind of pointless when you can get renewable energy and just store a bunch of batteries up, or even do organics and just cut out the middleman, but yeah. Power cell is more of an emergency in a pinch type of situation. Just checking through here to see if there's anything. There's terrain analyzer. That's cool. You can actually like pick colors. So if you want everything to be all brown, you pick that color, and then it'll, you know, you can do that, which is fun. These little radar things are fun too. The probe scanner, it helps you find like missing probes that have important stuff on them. Print filter, field shelter. We're gonna need that to go to other planets. The medium shredder. We're not even on iron yet. We need to not even worry about shredders right now. Auto arms. Those we're gonna need. The medium resource container. That's plastic and glass. We're not even close to making that yet. So you don't want to waste your early game bites on mid game stuff. Really, it's not. There's not really a point. Power extenders are useful. That's if your base is like spread out, but you need to get power from one thing to another. You use these, and it makes a really long cable. The power switches, the splitters, also good. Medium generator, also good. But you have to feed that thing carbon, and carbon, I believe, is burnt organic. So you smelt organic, and it turns it into carbon, and then the carbon, feeds into that. Again, a lot of this stuff is mid-tier, so we're not even going to use it right away. I do want to see what this stacked platform thing is, because there's a bigger version of the stacked platform that I would like to know about. But we got us a truck we can unlock, or rather a tractor. And then we're going to get the trailer at some point, because that's like the first type of vehicle you can really make is the tractor. Aluminum ammonium for solid fuel thruster. We should definitely get to that. I'm just seeing what's what, where, and how. Okay, there's not much else because everything's like 1,000 or whatever, so now we gotta wait for our bites to get back up for this thing to research more. We got a bunch of tethers, which is good because we're about to go spelunking down in the cavern. So I'd say we just fix this up right on, and we go looking. Okay, I think there's a way to... Yeah, if you just start sprinting on an incline, it'll... There you go. Get you down there faster. Whoa, 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 whoa. Careful, careful, careful. I didn't see what was behind me. Gotta be careful. Yeah, we gotta, like... This seems to be cavern roof. If I know my terrain correctly. Yeah, this is like the top of a cavern. So what we need is to mark that out and then kind of align this. What we can do is we can do this. Oh, we keep that locked in. Yeah, we just want to slowly fill this in while we go down here. One, that's laterite. That's what we're looking for. Perfect dig. Good site to start with. Two, yeah, we need to get those away because those are poppers. The poppers are not great. Trying to get more of an incline on this thing. It's just a little bit difficult. Okay, that should be good. And then we flatten that back like this. That we can just slide down to it. Ideally not too fast, but we'll see. Okay, and then we want to I'm just trying to keep this nice and clean for later. Oh, okay, I see. So control and then C kind of swaps it. So that way we don't have to actually, I don't actually have to hold the button. I can just go to the different mode. That's kind of nice. Can we walk back up this? Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass on that incline, but it's not a terrible incline. Yeah, you got like controlling all of the quick ones for like raise the dirt or flatten the dirt. Speaking of flattening dirt, this is where the alignment mod comes in handy. The alignment mod, what it does is it aligns your tool to the planet. So since the planet's spherical, it's certain parts flattening them is not going to be a good idea. So what you want to do is always align it so that when you're flattening things, you're kind of flattening things to make it smoother overall. It's a whole thing to do with the voxels. But it's cool, though. It's cool. I just gotta get down here. Yeah, we don't want to replant those. We want those to be going bye-bye. We don't want to farm those right now. Oh, happy day! Look at the fucking laterite, boys. That's an awful lot of aluminum we're about to have. Yeah, baby. Let's go! So that's laterite. That, I believe, is actually the symbol for the crate upstairs. We got 2 spots left. If I use up another tether, which I will, I'll get another spot. So I'll just keep mining these and let them drop, and then I'll pick them back up later. Because they don't really despawn. Gotta be kind of careful when you're doing this. Get everything in the same area. Get a little tether going around the side here. Ah, shit. That's all down there now. Okay, you know what? We'll just make a pit. Pit of laterite. Why not? Come back and grab it in a second. Just don't fall in the pit. That'd be really stupid. Couldn't be me. Alright. Ow. Yeah, I got hit a little bit there. So you can see why I don't like those things. Like, I wasn't trying to do it on purpose. It wasn't a demonstration. What I was trying to do was get past it so I can get some of this laterite over here. A little bit more from that pit. Yeah, there you go. Well, fill up the laterite pit if we can. There's more on the ceiling, too, we need to get. Okay, let's get up here. Yeah, there you go. Mine all this out. I think we're about at the end of the ladder, right? Oh, no, maybe not. There might be some more here. Not that much, but more, definitely. Okay, so now we're getting closer to the surface. So, yeah, it's gonna... That's just ground up there. Like regular surface ground. Okay, ooh, I do believe I spy quartz, which is what we need for last, too. Yeah, yep. Oh, it's sphalerite, so... Sphalerite? Ah, sphalerite is zinc. Okay, sphalerite is zinc. Laterite is aluminum. And then, yeah, we're gonna put some stuff over here. By the way, I'm gonna move some stuff. What we're gonna do is tethers are gonna go away eventually. So what I'll do is we'll just move some of my dirts over. That way I don't have to worry about inventory on my gun. My gun will just be a separate thing. Okay. That's actually a good thing for the leveling block is even though you won't use it, you can use it as a free space because it pulls from soil canisters. So you can make the soil canister have a little spot there later. If you unlock the leveling block, it'll just be there. I'm trying to use up these tethers so that I can get zinc and laterite and bring it back to the house. Now that is some sphalerite right there. So sphalerite, laterite. This needs laterite, and so I'll come back here in a second. Kind of going in a big circle here, but I'm just exploring. Plus, the more of these tethers I put down, the safer I am underground in case I get lost. Oh, good, this goes down. So we can explore more things. There's also a giant fucking hole in the ground. So let's be careful while we explore more things and don't get swallowed up by a big old hole into God knows where. Okay, come on. There you go. Alright, that I think was the last of the tethers. Not really. Sounds like there's something down there wanting to attack me. I'm hearing a whoop whoop, like a bubbly noise. Sounds like an angry plant that's trying to fucking... Because there's some plants that they'll actually spit out gaseous fumes at you. Which is not so good. Oh, yeah, there's some... Yeah, see, there's one of those little fuckers now. One of those little spitter plants I was saying. It spits toxic bubbles at you. And it ain't great. Okay, let's not fall down here. Let's be very careful about down there. Okay. Poppers out of the way. Scan them for free research. I'm trying to scan that. Get out of my way. Nope. Now I'm at tethers. Okay. That's right. I think this is back towards our tether line anyway. Fucking hope it is. I'm walking off into the ether here. Okay, no, it's not back at our tether line, but there is an old base camp here with some freebies, like free zinc already built. Cool. A free smelter, we can take that back to base. We get the inhibitor mod for free. Fantastic, that's one less thing I gotta worry about. A free medium generator, taking that shit. Free aluminum, more free zinc. Okay, oxygen. Alright, that's an oxygen provider. Okay, let's... This is what the packer would be for, by the way. Something small like this, you could package it into one by one. Okay, so let's try and drag these back closer, because that's a free smelter. I mean, I could build a smelter just as easily, but that's a free one. You know, why wouldn't I use that? God, I hope I know where I'm going. Ah, not the backpack. So I should have pulled the thing along. Alright, don't panic. Take it slow. Don't panic. Take it slow. I can see my tethers. We are doing just fine. I need to fucking relax. Okay, here. We'll take the generator all the way back over. And then we'll grab the smelter. A lot easier to do. You fucking cock. Stop with the backpack. I wish there was an option for backpack not clickable. Because I already have the tab, right? I have a button for the backpack. You know, I don't really need to be able to physically click it. Okay, what do we have over here? Power cells, those will be handy. Yeah, just don't get... These are fine, just don't actually touch them. You'll be okay. Yeah, see this thing. Yeah, see, there it goes. The Hispin. Hispin fucking sucks. Okay, I'm seeing something over there. I think that's that same tavern I was just at. Alright. Oh, we fully charged our battery at the house. Yay! Okay, yeah, this is where packaging would come in handy, by the way. That's why you want to research packaging. So you can get graphite, you can get a packager, put that in a little package, put it on your backpack. Things like this. So medium things can become 1x1 boxes, but big things like this, they become 2x2s. So they're transportable on vehicles, but not on the inventory of the Astroneer. Which is unfortunate, but I'm going to take this generator with me, because this is going to be a nice setup at the house. We'll have a soil centrifuge that makes organic, and then hands it off to a smelter, and that smelter will use that to make carbon, and then the carbon will feed into the generator. It's sort of a constant thing, and all I have to do is make sure I keep the soil centrifuge stocked up with dirt. in that sort of a freebie. I'm gonna bring this. Actually, I have some laterite, I think. I thought I picked up some laterite for this. Yeah, here we go. That is laterite, and that is a free thing there. Scan it or research it. We can just take it. We'll research it. That's fine. So these things, they are heavy, so you can't really sprint with them. But that is okie day. We'll do this the hard way. Take it one step at a time. Back out and up. Okay, you know what? We'll just go ahead and take this up all the way, because we're already here. Might as well. All the way back up. So now you can see why rails are important, like having railways and stuff, because getting in and out of your mine on foot takes a while. So if you want to get deeper into your mines and things, you gotta have trains. Gotta be ready to do all that bullshit. Alright. So leave that there for now, and then you go back down and get some stuff. Actually, first off, let's research this bitch. Like, you can scan it to get the research, but I just prefer to put it in here. I think you get more if you actually bring it home and research it. Yeah, we're getting 1,300 out of this thing in the next 5 minutes, which is nice. I'm gonna go ahead and just crank this bad boy up, so you can see that'll turn it into carbon. And then have some aluminum and some zinc. What was I trying to make with aluminum and zinc rare? Right, silicon fuse. Okay, so we want to do that. Okay, what kind of research did we get? Anything good? Not really. There's like the wide mod and stuff, which would be good, but we don't even have a... Oh no, actually that's just zinc, okay. Yeah, we'll get the alignment mod and the wide mod. Those are kind of the ones I usually gravitate towards, so we'll get those anyway. The sky's not usually like this, by the way. That's just because of the weird, mysterious thing. I don't know if I can even turn it back off now. It's just, whenever you activate that thing, it makes the sky do this belt of whatever. So now you can see this is fully powering this. It's making this go hella fast. Keeping that nice and powered up for us. Okay, so now I want to check my mods. I can make a battery. I can make a boost mod. Don't want that. There you go. And then a wide mod, alignment mod. Yeah, so we'll go with the wide mod. So wide and boosted. So now it's wide and boosted. And we can turn these on or off at our leisure. Okay. And then we can actually put the inhibitor mod on. So the inhibitor mod is cool. This thing, if it's on, I actually can farm grass and stuff without disrupting the floor. So this is a great way to get organic whenever you're trying to flatten an area out, but you don't want to fuck up the floor. You can technically use the flatten thing as well to do it, but it... I'll just load this thing up, because it's a better generator than what we were doing before. So keep that thing all fed. Oh yeah, here's what we do. We'll slap this power cell down, because I really don't need it otherwise. And we'll turn this off for now, so that it runs a little slower, but that way it's not wasting our carbon that we're making. We only want to kick that over in emergencies. Yeah, we got a lot of cool mods now. That's pretty good. Okay, good there. Got it. Alright. And then back down. Want to get laterite because we need aluminum and such. I need compound for the soil centrifuge. So there's some over here. You want to turn our inhibitor mod off real quick so we can actually dig this. Can you dig it? I can. I don't know about you guys, but I can definitely dig it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna knock the fuck out of this real quick. Didn't the wide mod be on? Oh, it's because I'm out of power. Okay, that's what it is. You actually have to be attached to power. That's why the RTG is kind of good. That way you have an infinite, it can fill your battery back up. It's because I'm not connected to the grid. I'm not. The mods take power. That's the thing. Is it drains your personal battery pack. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So now we can finally get our first soil centrifuge. I say first because we're going to be making a lot of these. These are very, very good. Alright, so now that our power is in trouble, kick this over, and look at that. Look at how much power we get. Basically nothing. Half the meter filled off of just that. You love to see it. And this will just keep... It's sort of powering itself, making more carbon. Pretty good. This little number, by the way, or not this number, this little bar here in the framework, this is sort of your threshold bar. So you try to keep this yellow above this, and that'll be moving at max capacity. It's when it dips below this that goes into the red. God, I love it. I love it when a plan comes together. All right. Oh, actually, speaking of laterites, hold on. Let me. I'm gonna go get a bunch of laterites here, and we'll. Whee! Hello. Okay. Go back to my laterite pit over here and crack up a cold one with the boys. Because one, I need more aluminum. Two, there is that research thing next to us. There's that pod next to us that wants laterite. Really, that's all I got? Okay, I only got like 5 slots open. Let's get 6. There we go. Small printer. That's a neat little trick. If you want one extra little slot for something, you can change up what your backpack printer does. I'm gonna change this later. It's a little. I just want to get down there as soon as possible. So we'll fix that next time I go down there. We'll make it more even keel. You know. Start at a different angle. Okay, now we can do this. I don't know why I'm humming Indiana Jones. It's not that type of game. Another research pack. Fantastic. That's another 1,300 points. Some freebies there. Here we go. So far, so good. We're making decent progress for 2 hours of gameplay. Not too bad. There's a lot to do in the early stage. It's a lot more focused later on. You usually have like 1 or 2 things you're working on. In the early stage, you're trying to get everything together and get the base done. It's like the whole thing. Let's see. What does the game want me to learn for that quick RTG? Because that would come in handy. It wants me to do oxygen tank, power cell, glow stick, and dynamite. You don't actually have to build these, you just have to unlock them. But dynamite, I know off the top of my head, that's like a 3,000 already. Yeah, 3,750. Oof. Biggest oofus. Okay. Get some rewards here. We got our first little buggy. The game gave us a buggy. So now we can traverse. And the buggies have their own oxygen supply. You just have to make sure you keep them powered. You gotta be able to put a seat on it too. You know, that's kind of a prerequisite to a buggy. Okay. And now we throw in this. Why is the music so intense? What's with the drums? What am I going to war or something? Fuck. I think it's just because I hit a couple other milestones and it's vibing with it, you know. Because we're ramping up production. Alrighty. How best to do this? Okay, so first off, we want a platform for that. Our platform B. We're gonna need resin. I gotta get some resin for that. Not for sale. Okay, tell you what. We'll put these on here for now. Okay, no, not there. There you go. We'll put the solar panel there. Move you guys here, and there. So you're off to the side. I don't like the way that's set up. Better. Okay. And then... we need to get this roasting, but there's no room for it, because it's all there. I'll take these coppers off. I'll take the aluminums too. We need those to build with, so fuck it. And then we'll just replace them with laterite. There we go. That'll all swap itself around. Okay. Unpack this. We need resin. No, fuck yeah, resin. So yeah, actually, you know what? Forget the resin. We're not going to go hunt it down. I mean, we could, and we could get a bunch, but I don't want to do that right now. What I want to do is try out new soil centrifuge. This is also how we can make all kinds of stuff. So we can make compounds, resin, organic, clay, quartz, graphite. So as you can see, it makes less, right, as you get the more high-end stuff. So ammonium, it takes one entire canister to make one soil. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. Graphite's a 1-to-2, quartz are a 1-to-4, clay is a 1-to-6, organic is a 1-to-8, resin is 1-to-8, and compound 1-to-8. So, what we want, actually, is going to be clay, so we can get ceramic going. That would be the smartest thing to do. Yeah, so we fill that up, and then... Fuck. Then we can come in here. Oh, I'm sorry, you know, it's a 1-to ratio for that. Yeah, so you can see, like, yeah. It doesn't take one canister, it takes two. It creates one, but it's not a 1-to-1. It's, yeah. Thought it was. I guess I'm just misremembering. Anyway, point being, if you want to fill this thing all the way up, you need 2 soil canisters. And then it needs a full meter for that. But we don't need that right now. What we want is clay. Because a lot easier to just build this shit here than it is to, you know, run it somewhere else. God, I'm trying to run everything at once here, and it's just not great. It's a bit rough. Okay, at least we have the small generator, or the medium generator to help us, you know, that's actually quite helpful. And I think you can actually load this, no, you can prime it, but you can't, it won't actually load until it's done with its current creation. Okay, now we have all this aluminum, which is good, we can start making tractors and shit. Speaking of which, I think the small one makes the tractor, yeah, so we'll make a tractor. Then we need to make a rover seat so we can actually get in this bitch. Yeah, scouting vehicle. Yeah. Moving and hauling. It actually gives us a free trailer, which is pretty nifty. Now we got this, we got this. I think the optimal setup for this is, I think, like 3. You put like 3 cars behind you. And here we go. So, oh, that's right. You have to put fucking batteries and shit on this to make it work. I forgot it's electric powered. I'm a dumbass. Okay. So actually, what we could do is put a medium generator on it, and then haul behind it. Like we could just put organics in there or whatever. Or we could put, yeah, we could put a medium. We could put a small generator and then medium there. Okay. So then we have these. Move those over there. Okay, let me kick off. So we use our small generator here. That would be a good use of that. So, tell you what. We're going to yank this off. Do we have enough room here for this? No, you know, we'll just build another one. We'll go grab some resin and build another one. So what I want is the small generator. Where did I put those? Ah, they're over here. Okay. Actually, yeah, you know, the only thing on here is ammonium, so what we'll do is we'll put these on here, take this off, the ammonium we'll keep over here, the other stuff. We'll take this whole thing, put it on the back, and now we can run this whenever we have organic to run it with. And so we can just throw that in, and then we'll put some batteries on the back as well to kind of start our cart adventure. Better to scout with that, though. Like, this thing's much better for scouting. than the tractor. The tractor is for hauling because you can connect stuff to it, right? You got train length of 2 out of 4, so you can add 2 more of these little cars and have a big thing. Well, not a big thing. There's bigger things than this, way bigger things, but for the moment, that's the biggest thing we got. So it's gonna have to work. All right, give me that ceramic. Give me that ceramic. This aluminum, that aluminum, so on and so forth. Countrymen, lend me your ears. Okay, work light, no. Small solar, yeah, kind of, but not exactly this moment. Wind turbine, not exactly this moment. What we're looking for, really, is... Where's my thing that needs ceramic? There we go, drill mod. That way we can dig through hard stuffs. So we got the wide mod, we got the inhibitor mod. The inhibitor mod we really only need if we're, like, drilling out organics. So now, with the drill mod on, we can use that to cut through mountains. Actually, we really only need that if we go into the mountains, so... Yeah, we'll just keep that there, and then, up top here, we'll just do this, and then we'll put that there. Inventory Tetris. Okay. Bring that with me to make some emergency tethers later when I need them. Okay, we're just gonna cut that off because we really don't need that. Moving at hyper speed right now. Yeah, we need dynamite, all kinds of stuff. So like drill mod 2, that's tungsten carbide, so that's gonna be a while before we can do that. Game wants me to unlock power cells. I'll go ahead and do that. Packager, we're gonna want one of those anyway, so we'll just go get that now. Yeah, the tapper, I want to get the tapper unlocked. I think that'll be our next unlock, because that's a new thing I haven't seen before, and it might help us. I don't know exactly what it's good for. I gotta figure that out, you know. Okay, ceramic, good. Aluminums, print more carts. We want more carts for that. We do want a rotor seed as well. So let's go get some compound from... I think we had some more compound in this hole over here. Yeah, there it is. So we'll grab us a nice heap of helping compound. So you could technically use the soil centrifuge for everything, but if you have big nodes like this, you might as well mine them and get what you can out of them quickly, instead of wasting all that time trying to get, you know, the soil to get... Because, I mean, it doesn't take that long to get enough soil to get your centrifuge going, but then you have to take the soil off, put it on the thing, wait for the thing to spin up. Soil centrifuges are more mid-game. The way I'm using them right now is just kind of simple compared to their mid-game uses. Their mid-game use is way better. So let's see for the rover. You make large platform, you make buggy, you make large printer, smelting furnace, soil centrifuge. Basically, I want you making more large platforms. That'll be the idea. Okay, take that with me. That's for the rover. And little guy here. What else are you gonna make that's useful? Trailer, gonna need one of those. Gonna need 2 more of those. Stacked. Okay, so that's what the stacked is. Oh, cool. So it's like having 2 for the price of 1. Because it only costs 2 resin to make this. But it's stacked. So maybe you can have like... Hello? Oh, it's this piece of shit acting up again. Hold on. Let me fix the audio. Hee hee. Piece of shit. Doesn't want to work right. Alright. There it goes again. Okay, there we go. Check the audio. Make sure that's not all cut out on me. Should be fine. Should be the upper fucking word. Let's see. Okay. We're fine. Moving on. Alright. So, I guess the benefit of this would be you could have something underneath acting as like a printer, and then the thing on top could act as the storage, and that would make it easier to use. Something like that, so the stack thing. That's pretty cool. Or you could just have 2 things acting as storage, like a big thing and then another big thing on top, and... Yeah, that's kind of a neat idea. I'm gonna have to play around with that later. Definitely cool. Okay, so we're gonna want compounds and aluminums and other things. So we need compound, but I don't have room for another compound. Okay, here, let's move the rover seat off for a second. First off, rover. Second, need to make panels. So you know what we'll do with all this copper? We're just gonna make solar panels. So we have like all kinds of stuff. So that way you have one. Okay, and then the tractor gets one. And then I could get one. That would be helpful. So then the base has one, I have one, the tractor has one, and the rover has one. And then what we can do is use some of these ceramics I've got to make some wind power. Right? So we want to make some small turbines that way. Just in case these things ever get kind of disconnected. The only problem is you only have 2 slots in here, so it's much smarter to have like an RTG taking up one of these slots, and the other slot maybe like I don't know. It's literally anything. But you can see here, it's like either I'll be getting wind or I'll be getting solar. I'm not taking this thing in caverns, so as long as it's not nighttime, this thing will keep itself stacked up. The cool thing with plugging this in is you can actually plug it into your base eventually, and if you have batteries on it, you can charge it that way, which is pretty nifty. But this is my usual thing. Yeah, so now you can see it does have its own internal battery, and then you can add more batteries to it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, let's go get some more compound. We're going to need more of that. I think I have enough aluminum to make the other 2 trailers, so we can get our tractor working. I'm just going to go ahead and mine out as much as I can down here for the funsies. See how much better it is with the wide mod and the boost mod? Yeah, see, now we're back to, you know, fucking shitty little slow world. Because we ran out of power. That's why getting that quick RTG is going to be helpful, because then I will never run out of power. It might, you know, blank out my battery bank, but give it a few seconds, it'll recharge itself, even if I'm not connected to a tether. Okay. So now what we do is we come here, we go trailer. Grab some more aluminum, get another trailer going. Carbine back on there. Grab another aluminum, because we're going to want to build something else with the aluminum. Probably another soil centrifuge, but we don't have it quite set up for that just yet. Okay. Hook that up. So we're going to need more medium storages, so we're going to need resin. Because we want to trick this tractor out, baby. Because the rover, the scouting vehicle thing, that's what that's for, right? Is for the buggy is for going around and, you know, exploring things, grabbing a few things here or there that are really important, marking locations with beacons, you know, that kind of thing. It's for scouting. The tractor is for long haul. I know where a bunch of stuff is. Let me bring the big boy toy and load up all the extras. Or you have to have all the extras in order to load it up in the first place. So, you know. So yeah, I think we actually reach our max here. So we're going to put this on the back, just in case it ever... I don't think it ever will lose power on us. I mean, if it does, we would just sit around and wait for the thing. But these are good in an emergency, and they don't really help the base that much now we have a medium. We don't really need them. Okay, we don't need shelter. We're good on the trailer now. Packager... medium storage on that, and then actually I do want to make a small thing for that, but see, what else is the aluminum good for? Buggy, printer, smelting. Aluminum is good for the soil centrifuge, so if we can get one more compound, we can make another soil centrifuge. Not that I really need 2, it's just, yeah, like not at this exact moment in the game. What I really do need, actually, see, I need a platform, so yeah, I need a platform to get the buggy to do the thing, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Hello. That looks unnatural. Hold on. Do I have tethers? Here, let me make some tethers real quick. Yeah. I'll put the drill mod on here. Actually, we'll put the inhibitor on, because the inhibitor, at a moment's notice, might be more useful if I'm trying to pick up organics, but, yeah, we're good there. Okay. I'm just trying to do inventory, that's just a pain in the ass. This doesn't look like a normal thing. Or it might just be, I don't know. Oh, it's the... Okay. I mean, it's fine. We got resin over here, which is what we needed to get anyway, but... Yeah, no, it's just rocks. Ah! But there is something over here. Sweet. Yeah, baby. Capsules. Love these things. So these are like big chunks of space stations that fell down here. Scrap. That's good for later. Copper is good for now. Graphite also good for now. How much room do I have, though? I don't really have that much room right now. No, not really. We can come back to this. There's really nothing in here that's super amazing important. I mean, there's dynamite, but that's... Yeah, solid fuel, jump pack. All this is pretty pointless at this moment in the game. I don't really need this, but it's cool that it's here. We know where it's at. It's at the end of our tether, so... Good to know. Good to know. What we really need is to grab this resin, because it's easy to grab this resin and then we'll haul it back to base, because we got a whole bunch right here. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just drop some of this organic. We can come back for it later if we really want it. I need 3 stacks, but I'm probably just going to mine the whole thing out. Just make it easy to come over and pick it up later. Because I'm already here, I might as well do it. If I have like a hole like we did with the laterite. There you go. So we have like a bunch of compound, or not much compound, bunch of resin sitting around here. You can see by having the solar panel on, it almost negates my power usage. Almost. If I had 2 solar panels, I probably wouldn't even be using up any solar right now. I wouldn't be using up any battery. Time's it? Almost about time to stream. Like 2:30, 3 hours, you know, that kind of thing. Should be fine. Okay. Oh, actually, we could test, let me get back to the tether real quick, though. Before I freaking die like an idiot. Okay, yeah. Tell you what, we'll grab some compound, we'll grab this. I was going to test it on the rocks, but we'll be back drilling in mountains later anyway. I just want to take this home real quick. But yeah, it's quite cool. Quite cool. Yeah. So it's actually not too far from base. So if we can load up with this, we can basically pick up that whole iron, that whole resin patch thing there. Yes. So what we want is we need these medium storages. That worked out well. And then organic compound, we could burn that into more carbon. Kick this over while we're at it. So that gets finished at the same time. Now this is done. That can take as long as it wants to burn. There you go. And then we go get some more. So I will just go out there myself because it's not too far. I need to grab 2 more resin because that's as much as we need for medium storage right now. So grab us some 2 resins, and the thing I wanted to show you guys is the drill. So as you can see, the boost mod works, but you'll still get these sparks. It'll still be slow on that terrain. This is why you need the drill, because the drill does this. It makes it to where it acts like normal terrain. Obviously it uses power, but, you know, it beats having to wait for it to dig through all that crap. So, you know. Small victories. Pop those 2 out. Ugh. I have to say, I really do like the trailer for Fallout 76. Like the whole, with the Beach Boys, wouldn't it be nice? And then you have like the live action guys. I thought that was kind of neat. Might just be me, but I quite like it. Not the game is like particularly amazing or whatever. It's like I like the game, but it's like, could the game be better? Oh, absolutely. There are so many things wrong with that game, but it is fun as a shooty tooty, enjoy the Fallout type stuff. It's just there for vibes, bro. You're just there to vibe. You don't care if it's like got the best story or whatever. Where's my audio? I go over here in the audio, like there's like no music or anything really. Yeah, the music's very fucking low for some fucking reason. It's pissing me off because I feel like something's wrong here. Hold on. Is something wrong with my volume mixer, perchance? No, it's fine. It's, the music is fucking low. That's weird. That's better. But I don't want to crank it up because then the music gets loud again, then it's going to be a fucking problem, Tomato, tomato. It's if it ain't one thing, it's the other. It's your, like, proximity to stuff, too, that determines how loud it is. Because, duh, that's how sound works, but you know what I mean. Okay, don't need that. Put this here. Bingo. So now we can get all that resin stuff and get better storage and so on. What do we need for this? Yeah, we need resin for that. So I think that would be the best use of our time, would be to go do up that resin. Get that fixed up. And do we really need the... Yeah, I'm going to keep these as spares, just in case we got a problem. Just in case we have an emergency. Woo! Tractor! She's not particularly fast, but she's fast enough. And she hauls like a son bitch. To the resin farm! Huzzah! Alright, I'm gonna... I could have technically just driven this thing around to the other side and hooked it up. Like, disconnected and then hooked it up to the back, but, it don't matter. Yeah, baby, look at all this resin we got. Looking good, boys. Looking very good. Okay, I'm gonna throw this over here. Get this out of the hole. Hell is that in there? Oh, sample. Scan that bitch. Okay. Put these over here so I can grab them immediately. Okay, I got like 6 left. Yeah, we'll get 6 more. Why not? Get her going. Okay, ooh, there's some sphalerite right here. Nice. Okay, that means we're getting down into a cavern, so I need to be careful digging this any more than I already have. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Alright, I need more zinc anyway, so you know what? If I can mine some sphalerite from the top, that'd be cool. Be careful not to punch too far into the old mine there. See? It's opening up a gigantic fucking hole. Actually, it doesn't go too deep. We could probably make a ramp down there, because there's a lot more resin and sphalerite to get. I'm gonna grab me some. There you go. Had a mission for that anyway. So yeah, we could make a little ramp down into there. If we do maybe... We don't want to make it too much of an incline. Something like that ought to do. And we just kind of push it this way. Push it real good. Okay. Now we can run back up here. Not too bad. Because if you go on too much of an incline, your guy can't sprint up properly. He loses speed. Pain in the ass. Okay, I got room for like 2 more resins. You know what? I'm going to take these 2 organics just to clean them up. And then we can come back here later for other stuff. Eastbound and down, and loaded up and drunken. We're gonna do what they say can be done. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Come on now, run, bandit, run. Hell yeah. Alright, so yeah, I brought these so we can make more carbon. We're just basically filling this whole thing with carbon now. And, I'm gonna move that aluminum out of the way so this whole thing be ready and stacked with carbon. We do need to turn some of that into zinc, though. Right, and then we got our resins. So I got those ready to go. Just 1, 2, 3. Bigger platform for the soil centrifuge. Kick this over. We are doing quite well on the starter base. Like compared to my other runs of Astroneer, like the other 2 or 3 times I've played it. You know, the 3rd one being the most recent one. This is a lot more setup. I mean, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm looking forward to and all that. So it's like, yeah. I want to see what this tapper thing does. Because I got 1 spare aluminum left over, so I want to see what that's for. How does a tapper work? Trailer. Oh, I must make it in my thing. Okay. Do I make it in my thing? Is it like a medium thing? What is it? I would assume it's small. Might be made in a medium printer, though. Well, we do need a small printer on this, so we can print graphite later for packaging. Well, no, that just prints the printer. We don't need the... Okay, yeah. Well, it's alright. We'll just have 2 of these. That's fine. 1 setup for one thing, 1 setup for the other thing. We actually set them both for medium storage, and then set them to automatic. But, yeah. Alright. This is where our soil centrifuge is going to live from now on. And then the printer is going to go back over here, actually. Because we really don't need the big printer for anything, really. It's for really big stuff that we're not into right now. Tell you what, soil centrifuge there. Right, and that'll make whatever the fuck we need. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of like the best stuff to do with this. So medium and small printers on this. I'm trying to remember the builds I used to do. I think this is what I used to do. I used to have this on one side, these on this side, so they both point out this way. And that way I can collect everything from the front, but then the middle I use as like a big storage depot. I think that's how I used to do it. And then what we can do is bring this over here to be near our other printing assembly. So if we print resources here, we can move them over here to be used in our setup. I don't know which way I'm pointing this thing. I'm a dumbass. Don't listen to me. I know nothing. I'm a fraud! Okay, let's take that up, because we don't need that. Because that connects to that instead. We don't need another tether there. It's redundant. We do have another spell, right? We need to turn that into a thing. Some zinc. There we go. What are you zinking about? Okay, we gotta stop with the puns. Okay, platform, buggy, printer, smelting, soil centrifuge. Okay, platform, that's fine. So what we can do is we can actually take this and offload it, and now we can see what it wants to build. So we'll take these, leave it there, so we can then build some more stuff. Okay, I bought the tapper thing. How do you build this? It's an automation item. Made of aluminum. It produces resource from okay. But how, though? Is it in my backpack? Okay, it is in my backpack. It's made from aluminum. There we go. I thought it would be in the backpack, because it's in, like, the starter area of the research tree. Then what? We just throw this on the tree? Yeah, because I kept this tree so I could see what the tapper does. What do you do for me? It's making organic from this thing continuously. It's an organic farm. Okay, I want it back though. I want it off. Oh, turn off. Get off the tree. You're in like the wrong spot. Well, it's hooked to the thing, so it looks like maybe if we build another tapper, we can put it on this one. So we're getting like free organic. So this is a way to automate carbon production. We don't even need a soil centrifuge to make organic now. I mean, it's slow as fuck, but imagine if you had a couple of these things, you could replant them and make a farm, and yeah. My brain's thinking now. Ooh, yeah, it's thinky time. Okay. Let's see. We have some zinc. What did I need zinc for? There's something doing zinc. I don't know. Let's see my rewards, because I've been doing some stuff. Let's see what they want to give me rewards for. Oh, we're getting a soil centrifuge for free. Fantastic. We're getting the bait and switch. Oh, this is that thing. Okay, this is the thing I wanted to show you guys earlier, but I confused it with the other thing. Well, we got 2 soil centrifuges. Might as well use one for one and one for the other. So here's what we do. We're going to turn this off. What we're going to do is we're going to treat this as our organic creator. And then this is our smelter over here. So this will be where we do our smelting. It's on this side. And then this thing's our organic. So this way we can just build organic here. We can set it to just organic. So if we need organic, all we have to do now is arm it. And then the reason you have to arm it is so that you don't accidentally add things to storage, moving things around, and you misclick and then it eats it up, you know? So this way it's ready to cycle. I arm it, and now whenever I fill this with soil, once it's full, it'll kick off and do a whole cycle. Then what we'll do is we'll put this here, we'll put this here, pop it open. There you go, pop this open. So now our smelter array's got its own dedicated area. Our generator's set up with our organic, so then all I have to do is add more here later. We got zinc, we got that. Okay, so this is the thing I wanted to show you guys. Also, did you finish your thing? Oh, I didn't even click you on. I need to turn you on so you can make a platform for me. There we go. Because you're gonna be for that platform. All right, and then this thing is kind of cool. So remember I said there were those snail creatures before? This is their thing that you need. You want to do it fairly away from your base though, because it kind of fucks up the terrain around it too. So. Yeah, well, wait for it. Wait for it. There you go. So you can see it kind of messes with the terrain. That's why I want to do it way over here. Yeah, so the thing, you gotta, like, power it up and add stuff to it. It's a whole thing. You gotta put an oxygenator in it, and yeah. Oh, there is one that comes included, so that works. That way we can actually get oxygen from it while we're standing around here. Free copper, free ceramics. Nothing on the back end. Doesn't look like there's anything on the back end. Okay, this thing, we gotta give it like power and stuff to get it to kick over. But this thing's like the xenobiology lab, right? This is wreckage from that. And so all the wreckage we're finding on the planet, from what I gathered from the lore, is like a ship that hit a dimensional pocket in this system and it got torn apart and whatever, something like that. Some science ship or something. I don't know. We'll read through the lore as it comes up. We'll see how that works. Okay. So now we got another centrifuge. So this one's just for power now. That's all this thing is for. It's emergency powered construction. This other one is going to be our constructor unit. So we can put that maybe over here. So if we need stuff, you know, from the soil centrifuge, we can make like certain things. Like resins and ores and things. God damn it. Alright. Tell you what, we're going to start expanding this now that I have the boost mod and all that. So what we're going to do is we're going to flatten this out some more. To make it match our current setup, our current vibe. question is, do I want to raise that up or not? Because I kind of want to move the factory down away from the shelter. It feels a little blocked in as it is. So, problem is we need the alignment mod. I have the alignment mod unlocked, I just need to build it. Oh, that's right, batteries. Batteries is what I was trying to build. Batteries are important. We can get lots and lots of power going. Okay. Yeah. What I need is the alignment mod. That thing. That's what I need. So I can put it on the gun here. The alignment mod is the thing I want all the time. This is the thing I want sometimes. I'll put you there. There you go. Okay, that'll work. I'm gonna get the ceramic for something else. I don't know. Ceramics, copper, zinc. Sure. We'll have to figure out what we're doing with some of this resources we have later. Right now, we're kind of in the transitionary phase. So now, with this thing on, aligns terrain deformation to the curvature of the planet. Attach the terrain tool to activate. So now you can see, no matter where I put it, it keeps it flat. Which is going to be very helpful for doing this. Okay, get flat again, asshole. Get flat again. Okay, so sometimes it kind of breaks trying to go to the curvature there. It's, yeah, you have to get it really close to you, and then you can... You just gotta keep holding down the button. I'm gonna get this whole thing nice and fixed up. So it's one pretty flat mass around here. And the cool thing about the mods, actually, is you can stack them. So if you stack a boost mod, it becomes twice as powerful. If you stack a flatten mod or whatever, like if you stack the wide mod, the area gets even bigger. Stuff like that, which is kind of neat. So as you can see, it's a little touchy in some areas, but usually it tracks back to itself pretty well. It's just, how flat do you want, you know? So it's flatter than it was, but still not great. It's one of those weird things where you can't go too far else the curvature starts kicking in and then kind of dropping off the map. But your bases aren't really going to get that huge anyway. So I could see us running a base from maybe here to the horizon there at like that tree line, maybe, you know, at most. But again, bases don't need to be that large. So here we can, like, use this to flatten it, sort of, right? Just get it kind of in line with itself instead of in line with the planet. Because in line with the planet, it's always adjusting the curvature to try to fit the planet. And that's not necessarily what I want. What I want is this to be perfectly smooth throughout, and I want to make sure it's doing that. So, yeah, there's like you can see there's a couple of holes. It's, you know, a couple bits of terrain that it's trying to do. Like, we're not going to build roads and shit and flatten the entire planet. That'd be weird, right? And just unnecessary. But now, you can see we got this going. See how nicely it sits on the ground now? That's what I was trying to do. Now let's lock that down, plug that in. Oh, God. Yeah, that's better. Just, it was, the way it was clipping in the dirt, man, it was pissing me off. Okay, so we got our soil, put that on here, make that up there, looking nice, looking tasty. Alright, clay, quartz, graphite, whatever the fuck we want, basically. Alright, and I got a tether on me. I'm gonna take these resins with me, I'm gonna add them to the pile, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna move this one off. Put this back on the tractor so it's ready for later. Cool. Do we have any upgrades to grab right now? We do need to get... Yeah, basically I need to keep researching so I can get the dynamite, just so I can get that RTG. Because that RTG is going to come in handy quite a bit. Power cells, breath of fresh air, got that. Okay, jumper cables provide power to the xenobiology lab. Right, you gotta like bring a battery over there or whatever, but they give us power cells, so we're going to use power cells for that. So if we throw power cells in there, it'll fill it up a bit here. Now it works. Ding, and we have like all kind of log entries and stuff. But we'll look at all this later. This is a whole different bit of lore, right? To look at the whole thing. Know thy galastropod, right? So that it's a whole researching little alien friends type mission, which is pretty fun. Okay, arm yourself. Print an auto arm. Unlock and print a packager. Print a small shuttle. Go to the next planet. Whatever, right? So that's not going to be for a while. I'm trying to get really set up here, and then we'll go to another planet. Yeah, tungsten from wolframite, so we have to go to wolframite specifically for tungsten. You can't get tungsten on the planet we're currently on. We need to gather lithium. That's on another planet. Advanced explorer kits. We need the oxygen tank, the glow sticks. We'll just grab whatever as it comes up. I do want to see about this small printer filter. What exactly does that do? I am slightly curious. Small printer filter. What do you do? Toggle visibility of categories slotted into printers. Okay. Oh. Wait, what? How does that... Okay, what do we put it, like, on the platform? No, that's just... Oh, wait. I think I know how this works. So, this goes on top of this. This goes here. Yes, these guys are armed and ready. They're just waiting for me to kick it off. Right. So, this one's on here. So if I click this, aha! Now we can filter our shit. Category filter state visible. Cool. So now we can filter through the various things and tell it which filter to apply. Okay, so that's interesting. That's pretty nifty. I think I remember how I do this, actually. Hold on. I think I just remembered how this is supposed to work on my setup here. Put these here. Right, it's not actually we do it on the sides. What we do is we use the sides as inputs and outputs for storage, like this. And then we use the middle, from what I remember. Alright, so basically we're doing this. Those two in the middle, that one on the side, that kind of thing, right? I mean, it's going to be different later on, but you guys get the idea. So it's all clean and, you know, where it should be. Alright, so all this goes out the front. There you go, that's much better. Okay. What now is the question? Well, I'm feeling pretty good about this stream. We might just say, fuck it, and leave it here. This might be a good spot to end it on. Or maybe not. Or maybe we don't. Maybe we go further. I don't know. I'm going to move this thing over here because now it's kind of pointless. So we're just going to use this as sort of a connector point. There you go. And then some like extra storage, I guess. Kind of the thing to do. Okay, what are we doing now? Yeah, keep doing research. That's how the filter works, which is kind of cool. So glow sticks, we need those. It's part of the mission. I have to unlock it at some point. I might as well unlock it now. So the narrow mod, that makes the thing smaller, so you can like pinpoint nodes that you're trying to drill. So you're not tearing up as much terrain, just get to one little thing. They all have their uses. You know, certain use case. This is what I really want. The hoverboard is sick as fuck. You can go zipping across the terrain so fast. Okay, we do need the auto arm. Because obviously we can't automate shit without an automatic arm to feed things. So, we want to make the auto arm. We want to make the auto arm. That should be in the medium? Oh, I'll be damned. It's a small. It is not a medium. Interesting. Okay, so you will just make your medium storage, and you can make the auto arms whenever I need them. There you are. Aluminum graphite. Okay, do I have aluminum or do I have zinc? Just have zinc. Okay. Tell you what we're gonna do. Here's the plan there, Chief. Let's see. Battery. We're gonna make some batteries. Here's the plan. Battery, right? Okay. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this ceramic and make me a windmill. Where is my windmill? I went all the way around just for it to be right next to where I need it, huh? Ain't that a bitch. Small turbine. Okay, so we're gonna hook the small turbine up there. Keep the batteries, do this, do that. Oh, God, what have I done? Okay. The batteries we can use on here to store up stuff for overnight. Yeah. Good for me to have one too, but not with my inventory currently set up the way it is. So what we'll do is we'll use this back storage area as sort of a power panel. There you go. And then we'll use this right side as our inhibitor and drill. That leaves us just a little bit of room here, but, you know, it works. It works for what we need. Okay, so there's more research to do. There's more stuff to do. What is our research log right now? No, not a research log. A mission log. What am I thinking? Okay, Sylva shells. Gotta scan those. Right, so we're just doing kind of some basic stuff right now. We gotta print the auto arm. We need aluminum and graphite. Graphite we can print. Aluminum we got down here. We just gotta go get some. See, bringing it up's a pain in the ass. That's the only problem. I don't know. But, yeah, we got... I'll go for another, like, 15 minutes. We'll kind of just set up our mine a little prettier. Get that going. And, go from there. I don't really need this tether to be all the way out here like this. That's a free research right there. Can't believe I didn't grab that before. I'm a dumbass. So this is free research sitting around doing nothing, which is when it could be getting researched. And yep, there we go. That's another one there. This is where the packer comes in handy, by the way, is these things, like when you find them, you can package these up into little 1x1s as well. Makes it easier to transport. Much, much easier. And then you can just unpack them later. Whatever station you're trying to go to. There we go. So research is back up and running. You got some batteries there, just in case. Right. Let's see. Going down. Do we want to try to bring... Could we try to bring the whole tractor down? It might be a nightmare. But yeah, let's smooth this out a little bit. Yeah, it's just that this right here works. That's too steep. So what we'll do is we'll just extend this and then reattach our tether in a second. And this way, when we start sliding down this one, we can slide all the way to the bottom without flying off a ledge. So yeah, trains are definitely the go-to for shit like this, though. You don't want to try to bring tractors down here. I've done it before the whole trains thing was added, and it was... Basically, I would have a tractor down on that level, and it would bring it to here, and then I would bring it up to another tractor next to the base. And that would be the easier way to load it and unload it. Okay, we get some more research for that. Cool. Yep. Alright, so now I got that fixed. So what we'll do is get the slide going. There you go. Tether. Tether. Perfect. Move this over here. Tether this to here. It should be connected. Good deal. There you go. Okay. Oh, there's some sphalerite. That's good. Free research points here. So as you can see, the poppers, when they explode, they get a lot of seeds. So if you want to mine these things, you can. It is possible. Okay. Need more aluminums. So, to the aluminum pit. Huzzah. Yeah, see, this is where having containers is helpful, because you can just kind of fill the containers. But again, trains and shit later. That shit's coming later. So... do we bring the tractor down here to make it more convenient? And then try to drive it back up and out, because that would be... that's a whole task in and of itself. So, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna probably flatten this, too, just for the fun of it. Kind of just get that a little higher up on that. Okay. So what we'll do to grab a pack of this is we'll just take a storage thing with us. Cowabunga! Cowabunga, bitches! Alright. Now we're down here. Now we can get all these up. Oh, is it gonna be just enough? Oh no! It's not! No, there's gonna be one left! Fuck! Why is there one left? No, give me the leveling block. I need the leveling block unlocked. Just so it can make the soil get out of my inventory. And into that. There we go. Woo! Tricks of the trade, baby. Tricks of the trade. Alright, so we have... woo, hey, relax. So we harvested just about as much of the laterite out of that pit as we could. I mean, there's more, obviously, but that is the last of the laterite from our first mining expedition. So yeah, at the end of the stream here, we're just sort of cleaning up, getting things organized for next time. Get some more research points going, that sort of thing, right? Simple stuff. So the really easy part now is take this. All we have to do is replace this with this, and there you go. Done and done. Throw these on there for funsies. Switch this back over so we know what soil we've got. Oh, that's right. This thing's been growing resin. Right, so this thing gets us resin. Okay, that's another reason I want to get the aluminum, so we can get a lot more organic going over here. Because this thing continuously runs and it takes no power, so... kind of based, if you ask me. Kind of kick-ass. The only problem is I gotta get it over to my base, but... tell you what. You know what? We're experimenting with this stuff. Yeah, it is harvestable. Uproot to harvest seeds, so we should be able to replant this somewhere. So we can plant this seed near our base to get access to the organics we want. So we'll go ahead and just plant this out back near the generator, because that's what it would become anyway. It's just we want that to turn into smelter, carbon, what have you. So we'll just plant this over here. So we plant this. Can we plant it or research disappears after a time if not planted? So we'll plant that there. And so that'll grow a whole new tree near the base. So we can do this near the base. And then we still have our tapper thing. We just have to wait for it to grow. That thing's growing insanely fucking fast. Holy Jesus, that is fast. Okay, and then got an organic here. Just put that there for now. Store it for later. Got some aluminums coming. We need the aluminums for tappers. Yeah, tappers are aluminum. So if we start making more tappers, we can harvest this thing better once it's ready. It has to get fully grown first. Alright, audio, you're pissing me the fuck off, and I'm about to just smash this headset into 50,000 pieces, I swear to God. It's getting on my last nerve. And now you want to... My boss just sent a group text. He's like, oh, hey, team, check your fucking app for the schedule or whatever. I'm like, brother. Yeah. Like, I told him, like, don't even bother. Because didn't have any schedule after Wednesday. But I just find it funny he says that now. It's like, brother, now you think to tell your guys to check their shit to verify it, you know? That would be the thing to do before time. So, it seems you can pick this up and replant it once. It doesn't seem like you're going to get 2 seeds. That's okay. So, we'll just... I kind of want these up out of the way so that they're not super close. Oh, it can only have, like, 1? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, it just wasn't on. So you can have multiple. Can you? Yeah, okay, both are going. They're just going very slowly. That's why you want to have multiples of them. So this is basically free organic on this tree. So I'm going to tap the hell out of this thing. Easier than making organics from... So, I mean, making is pretty simple. Like, I do have a setup for that, but that's not until later when we have extra large platforms. There's a way to make that work that is slightly different. So here, this is a good, actually, early start. I like this setup. I like this item they've added at the beginning, this tapper thing. Are you on? Tap, damn it. Okay. Yeah, to kick them on, you gotta make sure to kick them on, because they don't really come on by themselves. Getting a lot of aluminum for this. I think 4 is a good start, yeah? Just so we have always, like, 4 in the background, just in case we need some quick carbon or organic for something. It's not a bad start. And then we can find more, tap those, get trees, etc. Kick that over there. There you go. Get her moving there. Okay, tell you what, we're gonna get another small solar for that, just to get that going. I think I got one more spot here. No, shit, I only had 2. Okay. Yeah, that's got a solar and wind, that's got a solar and wind, so we'll just take this extra one and stick her right there. So we'll move this one. Put this over here. There you go. Not a bad setup. How's our research going? It's going. Not particularly good research, but it's going. We're looking for any other useful things in the starting menu, because that's usually our cheapest stuff, and our most useful stuff is in the start menu, but... Nope. Alright, looks like we're on to the medium stuff now for the fun stuff, so... Need to get the plastics and all that. What's this? Button, repeating, all that. When activated, also activates any target item. So that's like you have the button, you link it to multiple machines, you can start up a bunch of machines at once to activate them. It's... yeah, I didn't use it that much in my other playthroughs, but it's definitely useful. Definitely useful. This is what we really need, is medium batteries. We have to get lithium for that first, so... yeah, I think medium platform B is what I actually do with my small printer setup. Just because I don't do a lot with those setups, but... yeah, I don't know. It's neither here nor there. We need the medium storage silo, but again, titanium for that. I'm not going into this. We got like fuel, rails. Rails we can actually start on. And then a fault finder. A missing data detector. Astroneer and scrap. I have modified this simulation so that you may trade decrypted fault finders using the trade platform. In exchange, you receive items and resources that are normally restricted. You're welcome. What the fuck? Okay. No idea what mission that is. Ruby. One of Frank's inventions gathers and dispenses storm data from hotspot. Alright, that's shit way above my pay grade. That's like crazy shit. But alright. Chemistries. Trade yeah, there's the trade platform. Large shredder, large this, large battery. See, this is the really fun stuff. It's like the large C, large T, you got the large curved, right? Oh, we can actually start doing the stacked one. I completely forgot about that. Let's unlock that one, yeah. That would be pretty cool. Large stacked instead. So now it's basically the same thing, but now it's on top and bottom instead. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Not sure in what instance this would be helpful. Well, it might be good for a setup like this, where we put the printers on the bottom and we put the storage on the top. Could be. It could be. I don't know. You know what? Let's print one, because I haven't seen one before, so let's see how it works. See if it's going to be useful. There's the really large stuff. It's like the auto extractor, the large shredders, the solar arrays and stuff are fantastic. Got like the extra large platforms. Yeah, there's the extra large curved platform. That is like the peak of platform design. Love that shit. It's moving about as fast as it can go right now. Alright, I think we're good. I just want to get this finished. I want to see what it's like. Get an idea of what I'm going to do with it. And then we'll call it a night on the stream. Not bad. Not bad. Mainly because I got some beers to drink. Been looking forward to that all damn day. Not like an alcoholic way, but just in like a damn it, I need a beer kind of way. You know, it's been one of those like months so far. It's just been like, hey, one thing after another. Okay, so we do this. Then on the top, like I said, we can put storage on top. Yeah, and then it's like linked to the top, so then... Problem is it's really fucking tall. It's like getting storage on and off might be kind of a pain in the ass. Let's see. If I put this up here, and click it back down. Eh, not really, no, I could just click. It's not bad. So now the question is, does it latch onto whatever that is? So like, this printer is looking for resin. So if I were to move this, put it here... Oh, it actually adjusts the height to whatever's underneath it. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, okay, so cool. So we can use the bottom for the little printers, and the top for the storage, and then we can use this for something else. Right, right? That's cool, that's cool. I'm taking these back for a reason. I'm putting them all back on this one so that they can all be together. So what we do is we just throw this one up there. Ah shit, I'm in the hologram. And there. So like dynamically adjust. That's pretty cool. So that's a much more compact setup for my printer array than what I was doing before. And then here we can have a different sort of setup for everything. Yeah, so soil centrifuge, we can move that over here actually, so in case we need to use something else. And then this, we'll use that in some other way later. We'll need it, I'm sure, for maybe another smelter or something. You know. Here we got all our organics. What we can do is we can go pick these off the tree like fucking fruit, and then throw them over here. Okay, I got too much stuff on me. What do I have on me? I have an oxygen filter on me. I don't even need that. It's literally useless to me. Oh, research is done. So this is where an auto arm would come in handy. I could program the auto arm to pull it from there to here. So like you could put it in the middle and it would pull from what it, like here over to here. It wouldn't go that far, but that's the idea at least. That we can automatically feed organics into our smelter. That'd be pretty tight. We got a whole rack of aluminum. That's looking fantastic. Okay, I do need a little more, yeah, what do you stack for right now? Okay, how does this filter work exactly? So if I click the button... Ah, it's like hidden or visible, okay. That's the filter part of it, right? So you can hide it from the filter, so you can, if you're just interested in not seeing one thing, then you can use that to filter just the thing, right? So like, category, filter, state visible, medium printer, oxygen, creator, all that shit. Yeah, we really don't need that on this one. This is not our dynamic one. This is, basically we want to hide everything that is not our, medium platform or just our medium storage, really. And there's not a hide all button, so we kind of have to do this one by one, which is really shit, but there you go. So now, when we look at this, all we're going to get is packagers, automatons, and medium storage. Sweet. Yeah, I actually want another one of those, so go ahead and build that. Build it. Problem, dickhead. Oh, I didn't click it in. My bad. I didn't mean to call you a dickhead. That's my fault. I'm the dickhead here. I am he that is a douche of bag. Okay, so this actually needs to get smoked. There we go. Gotta turn that into carbon. We don't want that to work. Okay, cut that off for a second. Yeah. We need graphite, and honestly, the easiest thing would be to turn this into graphite. There we go. Let that one be the graphite one. I'll put this here. So the graphite has somewhere to spit out to. Okay. Oh, okay, so we can click onto things like that. That's good. See, I remember there was a way to, like, get things to click like that. There was something like that. Yeah, I definitely want to set up an automation on this. That'd be pretty cool. Like, set up an auto arm, and yeah, that's why I'm getting the graphite, so we can get the auto arm real quick and kind of automate that process. Because what we can do is we can have the auto arm pull from this, put it on here, and then have another auto arm pulling from here, looking there. And then maybe there's like a filter, like we put that on top of a filter, like a medium or a small filter, then that thing could filter for just specific items in that inventory, you know. That kind of a setup. It's, yeah. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to try to do. Okay, so now we got the graphite, and then we got the aluminum, and that will let us make the auto arm on here. Okay, we're gonna do one more because I got two of them, so might as well have two arms because that's kind of the setup we need anyway, is two arms. I think the arms go on a medium setup, so actually, what we could do is use this. Okay, we're going to use these, so we're going to move this thing out of the way. Leave you there as like the power platform. I need these. And you can actually go sit next to him. A little wonky, but we'll worry about it later. So these will be what our auto arms sit on. Because they gotta sit on like a 1x2 setup. They gotta sit on a medium. So we'll attach them here. So you can see there's like an in and an out, right? So I think it's looking to pull from here. It pulls from the green and puts into the blue. So can do then, like I said, this is probably where a medium filter would come in, so we might want to research that. Problem was, can't really do anything. Like a landing pad would be tight. We could get that started, but can't really do anything with these platforms because, yeah, you need like ceramic and compound, whatever. But yeah, it's like 2,000 bytes as well. So better to just start the automation stuff now, and then once we're automated, we can do a lot more things. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the medium thing. Why am I looking in the smalls for the mediums? Am I an idiot? Okay, here we go. Medium print filter. There we go. I want you to go on there. So you do the medium print filter. Oh, we're gonna need two of those, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. So all we gotta do is switch this off to something else. That way it'll give it back. Now, see, it automatically wants to fill it, which is nice, but at the same time, Stop! You know, I don't want you doing that anyway. Okay, oh shit, this is on, but I don't have anything. And that's why we got pallet of this ready to go. This is why we're trying to automate this, by the way, so we can keep this running continuously, and anytime it runs out, it'll just pull from here. It'll just keep it fed. Friggin' nonsense. Alright, let's see. So this we actually don't need to filter for, because it's just going to pull from the tree. So where's it going to land? It's going to land about there. I don't want to have to move the tree, that's the problem. So I move the tree, I gotta start the growth cycle over again. That should be fine. And then this will land there. So all we have to do is kind of move this back a smidge. Like that, right? Then maybe we could do it more like this, right? It'll land there, it'll get cooked, and then it'll come out on... It should theoretically go on this side. So I'm not going to put anything here, just so it keeps passing it one to the next, because it'll move from here to here anyway. So we don't want this on that. Remember, we have that spare smelter down in the mine, so that's what our new smelter is going to be. This one's going to be just for organic stuff. Okay. I return. Okay, let's finish this up. My buddy was talking to me about fucking stuff and things and stuff. Technical shit with his computer. He used to ask me for my input on certain things. Oh, it ate up all my carbon. Link that up, bitch. Alright. Let's see. So you're gonna do that. So this should work if I just plug that in. Fantastic. So that's beginning there. And then we just want to pass this over. So we just put that from here onto there. But we want to just catch the edge of it. So we want to do this. We don't want it touching this because it might rip it off here. So we want it touching just the very edge where that's going to sit. Like that. There we go. And then what we can do is we can move this out of there into there over here. So, unplug you. Unplug you. The factory's going to be a little weird for a second until I get... There's like extended platform things that are more built for shit like this that I'm doing, but... Christ's fucking Satan. Swear to God, it's always one more thing around here. Okay. Moving on. Let me get this set up. I just want to get this setup done. And then we're ending the stream. That's all I want. All I want is this. To do this. Okay. So this is here. That's there. That adds to there. The carbon. And then... really, if we're going to do that, I mean... Why the fuck even bother? Honestly. You know what? Now I think about it. Yeah, we could literally just put this on this. And there you go. And so whenever it needs more, it can do that. So what we'll do is we'll use this to hold all the extra bits. And we can actually force this onto here. And then it can hot swap and whatever. So these can be here, that can be there. So this will pick off 4 at a time, which will keep that fully stocked at all times. Keep it running around the clock, which is cool. And then this thing, yeah, we really don't even need that. So this is just a whole different setup now. You don't really need that organic going anywhere else. Make sure everything's all locked off so I don't accidentally move it now. So we do have another automatic arm. So now, I'm gonna lock that. And then we're going to use this on a different section. We do have some aluminums and stuff, but we're going to move that elsewhere. What could we use this auto arm for? Filling storage? When I don't feel like it? Yeah, could do that. Could do that. Oh, here's the filter thing, yeah. So this we could actually use with the filter. Oh, wait. Oh, it's a medium print filter. It's for the medium printer. Okay, well, that's cool, because then we can limit that. Kind of nifty, when you think about it. So now, if there's only one thing we want this medium printer to be doing, like, we don't need it doing buggies, we don't need it doing any other crap, really. We just want it doing maybe soil centrifuge or platforms or whatever. So we can filter it out for all the other stuff. There you go. So it's all filtered out. So now what we want is, that's large printer. That's like machines. This one's economics, platforms. Yeah. So we want to do platforms. We want to do platforms, rail engines, and large resource containers. So now those are the only categories that are going to show up. Cool. All right, and then there's this thing. I don't even know what the hell we're supposed to do with this thing. So this is sort of a perpetual cycle now. Of this feeds this, which powers this arm, which feeds it more organic, which gives it more, which burns the smelter, gives it more carbon. Carbon fuels this, and the cycle just is continuous. It just works. Okay, let's see. Because now I don't even need this thing to be wasted on organics. We could have this doing like graphite or quartz or just anything, really. You could have you doing all kinds of other stuff. Resin. Getting this to automate with resin would be kind of nice. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with this other arm then, because that changes the whole setup of how I was thinking about this. Yeah. Honestly, I could do a stacked one here. It'd be a nicer setup, but it's fine. For now, we don't really need to worry about all that being pretty and shit. We don't need that. Graphite. Yeah. Okay. I'm just kind of lining up all my different storages and things right now. It's a little all over the place, but I think I'm keeping things decently organized for the starter section. Power sensor. So activates targeted items based on changes in power. So we can maybe use that to keep the generator from wasting resources when it doesn't need to. Storage sensor, battery sensor, same thing. Proximity sensors, etc. Power switching. Right. Medium platforms. Tall storage. These are really weird. Connection to a stable platform recommended. Medium multi-purpose storage model. It's a weird thing. It's like a lamppost thing that puts it up in the air, but I don't know why that even exists, really. Rail stuff. We do need rail stuff, but we also need rail engine. So there's really no point in unlocking the rail stuff until we can get the rail engine going, which is in here somewhere. It's in transportation. Yeah, there's the medium rover, the VTOL, the crane. There's the rail engine. Yeah, so we want to get the rail engine as soon as possible. Rail engine with rail cars. That'd be the thing to get. Okay, Now that we have this set up, actually, let me, fill this in real quick. We don't need the research hole anymore, because we actually have a research thing set up over here. So that works. This auto arm. What am I gonna do with the auto arm? What actually be usable? I mean, we got graphite. Run some fucking graphite. I don't know. That's another reason we gotta get a lot of aluminum, by the way, is making rail lines. Rail lines take a lot of aluminum to do to make a nice rail line. All right. I say we go for a spin in the buggy real quick and just kind of explore. Just for the hell of it, and then we're gonna dip out. Some shells over here. We need those for the mission we're currently on, so we'll just use this and get over here. Oh. There you go. The G Sylva shells. shell. Get out of the way, tree. Get out of the way, rock. Another one over there. There you go. I just need to scan a few of those to get that mission going. Some free research here. Back to the buggy. Back to the buggy. Got some composite, or some compound rather. A lot of compound near the base. So if we need compound, we go mining out here for it. So as long as we travel during the day with this thing, it's never going to run out of battery. Because, you know, the sun is infinite. The wind helps too, but, you know. The sun, hell, that's here all day. Okay, I think we're good. I don't have much else to do. There is a salvage thing over here, though. On the surface. Oh, wait, this is what we need dynamite for. Yeah, so you need dynamite for these bad boys. The exo caches. Yeah, you use dynamite to blow those up. Good trick, though, is to get a bunch stockpiled before you blow it, and that way it's less expensive. You can just use one dynamite in the middle of the pile. Alright. Not a bad little adventure with the buggy. Got some stuff. Arm yourself. Return for the Chief Sanitarium. Okay, we need that, but I got organics on me. Oh yeah, this thing will be like infinite power now, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this is for my little terrarium dude. We got an extended thing here for passing items. Oh. Store that for later. Here, you know what? Yeah, let's just store that right there. Get at that later. What do we got? Provide terrarium with soil, zinc, and a bounce vine seed. Unlock and print the packager. Print and fill a medium resource canister. Okay. Rail engine, thank you. So now we got a rail engine. We can at least do that, and then we gotta do rail lines. So those are all 750. Yeah, rail junctions. So 750, 750. So 1,500. 1,500 and 1,000 is 2,500, and then we need the car to pull behind it. There's another 1,500, so 25 and 50. So 1,500, 2,500, it's 4,000. That's gonna be a lot of research, boys. Yikes, Captain. Like a lot of research. Okay. So first off, we gotta fill that with soil. We gotta fill it with zinc. I don't need zinc right now. I gotta go get more. Like this will keep itself primed up constantly. Just sort of a thing, but yeah, we'll just leave it like that for now. We'll kick it on when it's needed, but we could even make a power receptor for that, so that the power receptor, when it senses that the base's power is low, it kicks the medium generator back on, and then another one where it senses when the power is high, kicks it back off, or it waits a certain amount of time, something like that. Yeah. Don't know. Depends on thresholds and things. Okay. So yeah, basically now that we got the rail car, we're going to get the rails unlocked. We're going to make a rail line down into here to make it easier to go down into the mine, where we're going to get more aluminum to make more rail line, and it just kind of perpetuates itself. The loop. But yeah, I think good. Let me hop in my little ship here, save the game. Fantastic. Alright. Yeah, we're looking forward to more stuff later. I'm going to put this down for now. Do you need more soil? No, it already got the soil. It needs the other parts. So it needs like a bounce vine seed and some zinc. Got all this aluminum and not much to do with it, but that's good because we'll have that ready for the rail line. Actually, speaking of rails, wait, do you make that in? What do you make that in? I would assume the large printer, actually. Oh, really? Okay, it's in the large, it's in the medium printer. Huh. Yeah, rail engine. There we go. Resin, aluminum, copper. Yeah, I got aluminum. So aluminum. We need some more resin. Copper. We don't have any copper right now. We gotta get more of that. Yeah. This I don't even know what to do with. I mean, we got clay and quartz. Quartz for glass, but that'll be later. Yep. It's all coming together, though. It's all coming together. Ooh, I'm tired. I mean, I woke up at fucking 4 in the morning. Go to work. And I'm not going to work. Like, what the fuck? Alright. That's saved. We're good there. Can I, like, rename this? I'll call this... Steam. Not that I'm going to fuck around with the game in the meantime. It's just... Might as well be accurate with our bookkeeping. Cool. So we got a nice starter base going. We have automated... because of this whole organics thing, we have actually managed to automate it. And... Are these ready? Yeah. So it'll pick it up. And then it'll put it over here. So these act as extra spots as well. So we have a total... It can have 4 on deck. So this thing could just keep itself stacked. So what'll happen is, if it doesn't have room, it'll pick it up and it'll just keep holding it until it does get room. We got this little thing in the middle that's for like sensor module type stuff. Yep. See, there you go. He's going to keep putting it over there. And then when he can't put any more, then he'll just hold on to the next one. Yeah, see, so like he can't reach that further spot. So if I were to put this on the side for him, but it's not going to let me because the hole, it's on, it's in the middle of the thing and whatever. Right. Ah, but see, if I go near it, then he suddenly wants it. That's interesting. So I'm just going to manually fill this, just so it's there. Cool, so we've actually automated our power grid already, which is pretty nifty. Just running off this organic that's tapping this tree for it. Pretty neat. I want to look for more tappable things. That's a cool idea. I don't know if there's other things that are really that tappable, but we'll see. I want to start like a garden of different plants and such so I can experiment with it. It'll be fun. We get some free research off this real quick. Ah, no. Don't fall in the hole. Yeah, really don't need the composite hole anymore. That is quite deep. So we're going to go ahead and just cover that over so I don't fall in like an absolute dumbass. Cool. Okay. And that is a hole down to nowhere, but you know what? I kind of want to dig this out just to make it a hole down to somewhere. And there's more compound down in the hole. Mother of God. Hey, cool. Okay, so that goes down into there. So what we can do is we could actually go up here and, you know, line it up and all that. Like so. I don't want to go too steep, but I think we start it here. That'll be fine. It's always one more thing with these type of games, man. And that's the fun of it, is you always actually want to play more. There's always something more to do, some better way of doing things, and I like that. I like that about building games. You know, survival crafting, if you will, whatever you want to call it. Can't really see because my light's off. I'm hitting the floor, I'm hitting the wall. What's happening here? Okay, we've hit wall. And I think I'm on floor now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna make sure we got enough ramp there. So, yep. This is, see, we can run it like full speed up this thing because it's at just the right angle. How many, do I have spare tethers on me? No. Okay. Because I used them in the other area. Cool, so we got another mine started there. Well, another entrance to the mine, because it's all the same kind of continuous cavern. But yeah. Alrighty. Looking good. Not a bad day one. We did, well, excusing the parts where I didn't do shit. It was like 3.5, hours, something like that. When parts when I was talking to people was like 15 minutes, so. Yep, like 3.5 hours. Not too bad. Somewhere in there. See if we can watch this thing pop off. So we could actually have this thing only activate when this storage meter goes lower. So, like, there's a lot we could do with it. There's a lot we could do with storage sensors and things like that. Because we could have a storage sensor. We could have a storage sensor that sees when this is empty, and when this is missing one, then this activates to pull one over and put it here, and then that goes until it fills up, and yeah. Yep, I see big plans for this base. I see big plans. Alright, let's go save the game. Alrighty, Astroneer, woo! Got started with it. Save and quit. Fantastic. Not too bad, not too bad. So, we actually just got an update called the Elevated Update. What is with my speakers? What is this now? Why are you not Razor Kraken? What is... That why my sound's been weird the last little bit? I don't know. Weird. Let's see. So what is the Elevated Update? They just said they had an update on like the 17th. That was like basically a week ago. Planning and date wrangling is still underway for the full year's schedule. They don't have like a roadmap out yet for this year. But they have a new update for new content. They have the large battery now. So this is the medium battery. This is the big old large battery now. So this was the biggest battery in the game before. We did not have this. We had this little guy. And so you'd make a bunch of these. I mean, you make like 7 of these. It was more than sufficient for whatever you'd want to do. But this thing can hold up to 8,192 units and outputs 25 units. Power anything you want. Yeah, no shit. 16,000 bytes for research. Recipe of lithium 2 and zinc 1 printed in a medium printer. Look at how fucking huge that thing is. Amazing. Yes, the stackable platforms, that came in the new update. Stack platforms, okay. Compact organization for Astroneers everywhere. Stack platforms are compressed with top and bottom, allowing them to hold twice as much as standard platforms. So, it's holding this here, but because this is a double thing, you could put 2 of the same machine. So if I wanted to put like 2 centrifuges on here, I could. And you couldn't do that on this one, which is pretty awesome. Top bunk dynamically adjusts the height of items in the bottom bunk, right? So the small stack and a medium stack, which is pretty cool. Then there's the print filters. So these are also new. Slot any printer into an appropriate size filter, and that dream is reality. Print filters can be customized to only show or hide certain craft categories, removing entire sections, so you don't have to like click through the fucking thing. You can also put smaller printers on the larger filters to filter multiple printers at once. Ooh, interesting. So I could put a medium on a large, or a small on a medium, and it would still work the same way. You got like multiple on the slots. That's kind of cool. They got some store items. They fixed some bugs. Do I'm gonna take? Whoa! What is all this, dude? Whatever this is, I want it right now. This looks so cool. It's a little early. We wanted to give you an update on the future content. We were working on new content update while taking feedback from glitchwalkers and incorporating into our future builds. Just a concept, so no promise. But here's a glimpse into the scale of what we're looking for on for a big update. Oh, so what? So this is like a rail line. You can see there's like a little guy on the rail line here. And then you got multiple automatic arms doing something with storage modules here. Oh, these are rockets. Dude, these are shuttles. Wait, so can you like auto-load shuttles and shoot them off to another place, have them land there, and then offload from there, so you don't even have to leave, because usually you'd have to leave the planet to bring your resources somewhere else. Like, there's no automatic shuttle, right? So you would have to hop in the shuttle, which is why you want the really, really big shuttle, so you can pack a bunch of things in and bring it with you. Yeah. That's cool, though. So, what's Expeditions? It's a new thing, I guess. Yeah, this was back in April they did this. Starseeker takes players on a multiplayer voyage of discovery cooperative exploration camaraderie, exploring deep space on the ESS Star Seeker. Okay. Star Seeker is a multi-platform game that is slated to release in 2026. Oh, it's a whole spin-off they're doing. Oh, this is a whole spin-off. Wow. Okay. Cool. Star is a member of the crew in Star Seeker. I love the little carrot guy. That's cute. So they're doing like maybe a more down-to-earth thing. So instead of your more of an exploratory data gathering thing and not necessarily a mining resource management thing. Yeah, it seems to be more hands-on. Because you guys are like actually holding things and looks like maybe you'll fight some bosses and stuff. Very cool. What should be like Helldivers? Imagine. Ooh, swimming! Look at that! They're like swimming underwater. That's cool as shit. So it's like an exploration, sandbox, sci-fi. I'm trying to understand what the actual gameplay is, though, because all this is very canned. What's the point? What do you do? Okay, complete planet-wide objectives across a multitude of star systems using cutting-edge technology. You work together with the entire crew of the space station. Okay, I could see them easily being inspired by Helldivers. It's like a big multiple, like, hey, everybody's working together. Players will have an advanced set of tools at their disposal to tackle expeditions while they face off with the unknown perils of space, fascinating creatures, hazardous flora, mysterious forces. The ESS Star Seeker is the heart of the crew, an ever-evolving space station where players get together to plan expeditions, upgrade their abilities, and hang out with other players. Star Seeker is a brand new game set within the Astroneer universe. It is not Astroneer sequel. It's not Astroneer 2. Astroneer will continue to live on with more updates and content for years to come. Yeah, because they're like still updating Astroneer. They wouldn't be bothered making a sequel until Astroneer was like completely finished, right? That's why you won't get a Planet Crafter 2 until those guys finish Planet Crafter. And then they go, okay, let's make a significantly different game. Like Helldivers, right? Helldivers was a top-down twin-stick shooter. And then years later, it was now, here's Helldivers 2, third-person, like, action, horde shooter. Like, same game, different vibe, you know? Yeah. But that's cool. I'm interested in that. Oxygen Includes getting that one as well. They're getting a spin-off. So they're like getting they're getting like a fucking spin-off for it or something. It's like a different style of gameplay. Yeah, it's not spaced out because that's the DLC. Where the fuck is that game? Does it even have a? I don't know if it even has a store page yet. Let me see if I can find it because I know I showed it on stream the other day. I need to go back and find it now. Let's see. Isn't it called Away Mission or Away Team? That's probably why I couldn't find it. I was typing Away Mission, not Away Team. Actually, I don't know why I'm doing that. If I click on the fucking announcement, it'll probably just tell us. Ow, loud. Yeah, wishlist on Steam. Here we go. Well, but I'm not logged in on my browser, so I gotta. Fuck. What am I doing? I'm an idiot. Okay. Away Team. So it's not called Auction Not Included Away Team. It's Away Team Auction Not Included. It's a spin-off in the Auction Not Included universe. So as you can see, it's like all you go around doing everything yourself. It's not a colony sim. It's a, survival sim at this point. So you can see like here's all your inventory and things. You're just cute and whatever. It's, you're doing your little dupe thing, right? But again, it's all up to you. Or, co-op, you play with your buddies, right? But you have like a whole inventory system. You play as the dupe instead of managing the dupe. So yeah, it's very cool. I mean, you got all this shit you gotta fucking manage, like liquids and heat and all this shit. I do find it rather funny. Like I said, I saw a comment. The best comment I've seen on that reveal trailer was somebody said, it was in quotations, like, okay, smart guy, let's see you manage 20 tasks at once. Which seems to be the whole thing. Like real-time gas and liquid and heat simulations, you have to manage all of these things or else it's gonna fuck up your shit. Like, oh, there's a fire over here. Uh-oh, my base is made of wood. Poof, the rest of it's all on fire, so I gotta put that out, Clean everything up, farm with style, Very cool. Very neat. I like when games have a very nice atmosphere to live in. Like Planet Crafter, for instance. Planet Crafter would be really cool if there was, like, instead of being a numbers go up type of game, Planet Crafter could be cool as a straight up factory game. Like, it kind of is a factory game in a way, but this is more of an idle game than a factory game. Like you're waiting for numbers to go up, and you're trying to boost that production rate higher. It's not necessarily about automation of creation of things. It's creating, like, yeah, you are automating some things. It's, yeah, like, but again, the whole concept for Planetcraft, the whole lore of it is like, yeah, you could easily do other types of gameplay with this, with how simple the world is. Like, yeah, you could throw in other type things. Like with the animals, you could have a whole animal husbandry, like slime rancher type thing going on, where instead of managing the planet, now you manage the animals, and your whole goal is to like crossbreed the animals and mutate them and change them, or whatever. Because there wasn't a lot of that in the end game of Planet Crafter, but it could be, well, it could be very good for a spinoff. The Miju games. What's the last time they updated this anyway? Yeah, had, like, because they had the Planet Humble DLC was out, and then let's see what else. What else? Yeah, because they just had this announcement June 5th about like what's coming next and all that. So they've still been squashing bugs, and then they add more loot on Aquala's Final Tower Island, all this different stuff. So there's like the Moons update. So the Moons update isn't a DLC; it's like an actual update to the core game, and then you go to other places. So that's something we can even do, is go back to Planet Crafter. So yeah, we are back with our biggest update, the Moons update. This update will allow you to 2 new moons once you finish terraforming your first planet. Once on a new moon, you'll be able to terraform it while keeping all your blueprints, knowledge, and equipment. You'll be able to exchange resources between those planets and even automating technology, right? New tech, expand your operations, discover new moons. It's like a whole new kit and caboodle. It's pretty great. How to play. So you got to terraform a planet, which is prime or humble. Then you unlock the travel rocket. You build the extraction platform, you build the travel rocket, and then you get in the rocket and you go, you don't have to start over if you already have a save file. Ooh, I really hope I have a save file. Yeah, free update. Do the thing. No, you don't need to start a new game. If you have a save file, unlock the rocket to travel between planets. So if you already finished the game, you already terraformed one planet, you can just continue, right? Can you go from prime to humble to the moons, right? If you have the humble DLC, you'll be able to travel between all those planets and moons. Can I go to the moons from the humble? If you start your adventure on planet humble, you can unlock that. If I play in co-op, can I be on one planet in front of another? No, all players will play on the same planet. Well, yeah, because it's all one map. Makes sense. If I'm on a moon, does my terraforming process continue? Yes, all terraforming on other planets will continue. Oh, that's cool. So you can actually like set that up, go to the moon, start setting up that, come back, and kind of bounce between the two. Sounds pretty fun. If I start a playthrough on Prime and another one on Humble, will I be able to merge save files? No, you cannot merge save files. You have to choose one. And I have a problem, something's not working. Be sure to update or remove any mods, and that your drivers are up to date. Yeah. There's like new stuff here. You got the Interplanetary Depot, Solar System Screen, the Quartz Crafter. Quartz Craft? You can just craft quartz now? Cosmic Quartz? Ooh, man. That's intriguing. I'd like to play a DLC. I think what we'll do is I'll get the DLC at some point, because it's only like $8, not that much. So I'll go buy the DLC at some point, and then we'll hop back into Planet Crafter. We'll do Humble, and then we'll do the Planets update. And as part of the Humble playthrough, is we'll be like, okay, here's Humble, and then there's the new moons section after we complete Humble. Because Humble's its own build, its own thing. But yeah, Astroneer, not bad. We got us a nice little 3 hours in today. It's a good start. And then we will continue every day for the foreseeable future, basically. It's just we're just going to chip away at this one little bit at a time. We'll see. We'll see. Anywho, that is it for the stream. Thanks to Stat for stopping by. Good talking games, as usual. But if you guys like the stream, then do the usual. Like, subscribe, check out my streams, and I will see you guys in the next video. Reap the Rager, signing off.